right, good evening. Let's go ahead and get this meeting going. If you would join us for the flag salute, please. All right, let the record show all board members are here except for Dr. McNeil. Next is the adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Consent agenda, all of the following items, those items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and action on the following items, A through OO.
Move for approval. Second.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Okay, information reports, USPA, UCTA. Okay, hearings and correspondence. Okay, business agenda. All right, consider and take action on the updated daily bell schedule for all school sites for the 2025 to 2026 school year. Dr. Federline.
President Reyes, members of the board, as you know, the Governor Stitt signed into law House Bill 1087 requiring either an extra day or 6 extra hours of instruction. Union has gone with 6 extra hours of instruction, moving our instructional time with this daily bell schedule to 1,087.52 hours. That'll keep us in compliance with the law, and it'll keep the integrity of our schedule that you approved back in March. So we're asking you to approve that. We did have a very slight change that I told you about earlier. In addition to the changes that you see in your board packet, we are moving the 7th grade start time from 7:45 to 7:40 a.m. This is going to help us with our bus routing since we're combining 7th and 8th grade routes. And as you know, we had all kinds of challenges last year with transportation. This is going to greatly assist in that.
That is reflected in the board packet.
It is.
Good.
Questions, comments?
Mr. Bushet? Right. Well, yeah, that's right. Moving from 7:40 to 7:45. I apologize.
Okay.
That's what you see in the
Okay,
board packet,
that's what-
7:40, yes.
okay.
So 7:40 is the correct start time.
That's right.
No, 7:45.
7:45 is the new correct start time. 7:45. That is correct.
Okay, so that's,
Because that'll give us 10
Okay.
minutes between 8 and 7. Sorry about that. No problem.
okay.
No,
thank
that's
you.
my mistake.
Questions, comments?
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. McAdams,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. All right, consider and take action on approval of the 2025 to 2026 school calendar based on the 1086 hour requirement. Dr. Federline.
Yes, with this change comes a new letter that we have to send into the Accreditation Standards Department of the State of Oklahoma that is written that with your approval we'll sign tonight and will be taken care of for our calendar for next year.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. All right, consider and take action on the school partnership agreement with Reading Partners to provide reading tutors to students at 10 elementary sites in the amount of $100,000 from RSA funds. Ms. Kiger.
Yes, we are so excited. Reading Partners has come to us, and we will be the only district in the area that actually has a partnership with Reading Partners. And so we would like to expand to 10 elementary schools this next year with the plan to add an additional 3 the following year. And these are paid out of reading sufficiency funds. And so we would like for you to approve that. I do have some statistics, though, some stats from this past year I will share real quick. Over 232 students were enrolled at the 6 sites that we had this year. There was over 8,665 sessions delivered. There were over 228 volunteer tutors and 33 staff and AmeriCorps tutors. The average session was 37 minutes, and they gave out over 2,950 books for at-home libraries. It's been a great partnership for Union. We work well together, and we're excited. We hope that you approve.
So which of these schools are new this year?
Yes, did you ask me which?
Which ones will be new?
Which ones will be new? This year, the new sites will be Rosa Parks, Ochoa, Moore, and Jefferson.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the purchase of a 2-year renewal of the Renaissance Learning, Inc. software subscriptions in the amount of $290,272.36 from bond funds. Dr. Nelson.
Thank you, President Romerman, President Reyes, we had the transition there. And Dr. Federline, Board, I recommend that you consider and vote to approve this 2-year renewal. This is the Reading Star Math assessments that we use at really all of our schools now. This represents primarily the elementary purchase, and then we use some Star Math at secondary as well that we include in this purchase. You can see it annually because we buy 2-year renewals. The secondary Star Reading renewal happened last year. So we're coming back for a 2-year purchase now of what is mostly the elementary renewal, and this is a little bit bigger than the other purchase, about twice as much. So any questions about that? It's our screener assessment that we use 3 times or more per year.
Move for
Questions, comments?
approval?
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the renewal agreement with Amentum for Exact Path software in the amount of $284,576.54 from textbook bond funds. Dr. Nelson.
Yes, we've been using this Exact Path software now and expanding its use for the last few years. This represents a 2-year purchase from bond fund. Exact Path is a tutorial software that adapts to where the students are in order to fill in gaps, particularly for students that may be behind or lacking some knowledge, primary knowledge that they need, or it can also be used to accelerate students who are working ahead and need some additional enrichment or extensions. This is a district-wide purchase. We looked at making a smaller purchase because right now we don't use it extensively at the secondary level, but it was still actually most cost-effective to go ahead and get the district-level purchase. And we do expect some more expansion of the use of the software over the next 2 years as well.
Dr. Nelson, is there an L component for this Exact Path software, or is it only for your typical traditional learners?
Yeah, this would be, it is an English software for traditional learners. We have, for reading, we have Imagine Learning, which is a language learning software that our EL students use for literacy and language learning in particular. So, while this one doesn't provide that adaptation as strongly, it's not how it's designed. It's been very useful to us, but in terms of language development, we have a different software that's really designed for that. It's much more effective for language learners.
More questions?
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
And chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the 24-month renewal of the software license agreement for Canvas Learning Management Systems and Mastery Connect Student Assessment System from Instructure, Inc. in the amount of $420,244.25 from bond funds. Mr. Morris.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board, this is our LMS for our secondary level. We use it with all students 6 through 12, and we also use it with a lot of our teachers for professional development, and also a place to store a lot of our resources for our teachers to access. Mastery Connect is our district testing software. that we use for our quarterly assessments and for other assessments that teachers may want within that system.
Questions, comments?
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the purchase of Edgenuity online coursework subscriptions for 2 years from Imagine Learning in the amount of $130,550 from bond funds. Mr. Morris.
Yes, Edgenuity is our software we use for our full-time virtual students who spend 6 through 12 who are completely virtual. They don't have, they may have 1 or 2 on-campus classes, usually an elective, but almost all our students are full-time virtual. And we also use it for remediation purposes for students needing to make up credit where they have not received credit through traditional means, and they need to make up that credit for graduation. We use this software for that as well.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
The chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the agreement with Power School for a master service agreement for software licenses, subscriptions to support the teacher and principal evaluation system and the district's online employment application system in the amount of $133,101.71 from bond funds, and authorize the Executive Director of Human Resources to sign the agreements and initiate payment under these agreements. Mr. Logan.
Thank you, President Reyes, members of the board. This is a renewal of our Power School agreement, which covers our teacher and principal evaluations and all of our online application systems. It's a great system, allows us to manage all of that as well as employees' electronic records for the district. It keeps us straight and makes it much more efficient to be able to handle all of the paperwork behind the scenes. So we'd ask for your approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action to appoint Whitney Rayberg as 5th grade certified adjunct teacher for 2025 to 2026 school year. Mr. Logan.
Once again, I'm bringing an adjunct to you. This is a certified teacher. Unfortunately, she's not able to be emergency certified in the 5th grade area. She is certified in middle school and social studies, but we are asking for her to be placed as an adjunct while she's working on a regular certification. That way we can have her as a fully certified teacher starting here this fall.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
The chair votes yes as well. Consider and take action to appoint Jonathan Milwee as certified adjunct teacher in athletic training for the 2025 to 2026 year. Mr. Logan.
Mr. Milwee has been selected to be the new lead for our new medical program. We are waiting on the State Department. They have been delays because they added a new certification for him. And they haven't been able to get it processed quite yet. So rather than wait and try to hire him as a sub, we thought it was best to bring him on as an adjunct so we can get full teacher pay versus sub pay while the State Department gets their act together. Excuse me.
What's the anticipated timeline?
Should be last month, but anticipated, we're hoping here actually before school starts. So even though we're approving him as adjunct, we actually hope that it'll be approved through the State Department and he'll go on with his regular certification prior to that. He meets all the requirements and it's a new addition to the State Department for the certification areas, so.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Consider and take action to name the assistant principal for the freshman academy for the 2025 to 2026 school year. Mr. Logan.
Thank you. It is my honor to recommend Miss Tamara Danzy, if she would stand up, please. I did ask her if she had a speech ready, but she just laughed, and unfortunately that's not gone over very well. Miss Danzy did join us here in 2008, working at the 8th grade center as a science teacher. She's also been a cheer coach. She was the 2015 Teacher of the Year. She was also the 2022 Millikan Educator Award, National Award winner. She's got her bachelor's degree from UCO and her master's in educational administration. And it is my distinct honor to recommend Miss Tamara Danzy as the new assistant principal at the Freshman Academy.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Consider and take action on a 2-year renewal purchase from Zonar Systems, Inc. for GPS tracking for district vehicles and buses in the amount of $117,637.35 from bond funds. Mr. Harris.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. Zonar is our software that we use not only for GPS tracking, but also our pre and post trips for inspections for the buses. And then it provides diagnostic feedback for our fleet management system, for our mechanics, and work order system. So asking for your approval on the renewal for Zonar.
Questions, comments?
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the purchase of 10 school buses from Holt Truck Centers in the amount of $1,607,926 from transportation bond funds. Mr. Harris.
Yes, thank you. As we did back in June with the purchase of our 2 special needs buses through state contract with Holt Truck Center that's located here in Tulsa, we're asking for approval for these 10 buses. An advantage for purchasing through the state contract and through Holt is their plant is here in Tulsa and their service center is here in Tulsa. Warranty items that we need on new buses, they send a mobile truck to our shop and work in our shop and get that done. Thomas Bus, they are located in Van Buren, Arkansas. And that's where we have to send our Thomas buses for repair. And then El Reno, I think, is the closest for Bluebird buses. So it's a pretty big advantage for everything to be here in Tulsa and be able to purchase through state contract.
Questions, comments?
And these are replacing buses
Yes, ma'am.
completely? Are we going down a domino system with
So
these buses?
with our aging buses that we can still use as subs, then we will put those buses on the sub line and we'll surplus even older buses that are on our sub line now at the moment.
Okay.
And we'll put these new ones on route.
All right. Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the purchase of 2 Chevrolet Tahoes from Jim Norton Chevy in the amount of $131,256 from transportation bond funds. Mr. Harris.
Same with the buses. Essentially, these are two white fleet vehicles that we will replace vehicles with and repurpose those and move aging vehicles out to surplus and then be able to use our new vehicles in the white fleet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the purchase of 2 Chevrolet Suburbans and 1 Chevrolet Express van from Cooper Fleet Services in the amount of $162,937 from bond funds. Mr. Harris.
The 2 Suburbans are going to go into our activity fleet. So coaches, administrators, sponsors can check those vehicles out and use those to transport students when the need arises. And the express van is going to replace an older van in the warehouse distribution.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the bids for 6th and 7th grade center renovation and award the construction contracts to Nabholz Construction Corporation with GMP Amendment Number 5 in the amount of $5,890,332 from bond funds. Dr. Robinson.
Yeah, President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. This is our kind of next phase of the 6th and 7th grade center renovation. This GMP includes all of the equipment and HVAC upgrades for the center section of the classroom box, so to speak. So this is upstairs and downstairs, new air handlers, new VAVs, new piping, new ductwork. It also includes new ceilings, new lighting, new carpet, and new millwork in all of those areas as well. We seek your approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Consider and take action on change order number 1, GMP number 2 with Napholz Construction Corporation for the 6th and 7th grade center renovation in the amount of $152,136 from previously approved contingency allocation. Dr. Robinson.
Yeah, this is not a cost change to the GMP. This is really just a scope change. So anytime we have these large projects, we have large sections of unforeseen condition contingency money. But anytime we dip into that, we want to make sure you're aware as a board. So this covers a myriad of different unforeseen conditions that we ran into as we were getting into the 6th and 7th grade center remodel and the new plant build.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
And chair votes yes as well. Consider and take action on the proposal for architectural design services with Dewberry Architects, Inc. for the UMAC elevator replacement project in the amount of $109,940 from bond funds.
Yeah, as you guys may be aware, the elevator at the UMAC has given us a lot of problems over the years. We've even gone so far as to replace the hydraulic jack on that on that unit, but we continue to have issues with it going out of plumb and eating up the packing, kind of the sealant between the joints of the jack. And our architecture and mechanical firms have suggested that really the only way to make that work is to abandon a hydraulic jack system and go for a track system that doesn't have an underground jack that goes, 100 feet into the ground. And this should take care of all that. This is the design fee to get started on developing the construction documents for a new elevator at the UMAC.
Dr. Robinson, how long will that take?
The design,
Design to,
we are hoping that we can have the design in place, go out to bid, and be ready to start construction towards the very end of this upcoming school year so that we can go through construction and hopefully have it done sometime in the fall of '26.
will that impact any of our events like we had with the ADA?
Potentially, yes. But this is a permanent fix as opposed to being down, fixing it, being down again, and not knowing when those outages are.
Okay.
Does the elevator work right now?
Right now, yes.
You never know.
Say again?
Day's not over.
Yeah.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
And chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the award of snacks and beverages for the 2025 to 2026 school year with the associated blanket purchase order to Tankersley in the amount of $100,000 from Child Nutrition Funds. Ms. Powell.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. So last month, we talked about a lot of food items, and this particular request is for snacks and beverages. The majority of these items are sold a la carte at secondary sites. Of course, they meet the USDA Smart Snack standards, so all whole grain, low sugar, low sodium, all of those good things. So tonight, I'm seeking your approval for $100,000 to Tankersley.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consider and take action on the 2025 to 2026 salary schedules, negotiated compensation packages, and language changes for certified personnel in the UCTA and administrative salary schedule for administrative associates as per the superintendent's recommendation. Dr. Williams.
Good evening, President Reyes, members of the board, Dr. Federline. Tonight I'm bringing a recommendation based on our recent negotiations with UCTA back at the end of June. The recommendations, and we've included all of the language changes. There's a lot of details there, but I just wanted to highlight the ones that are most substantive and most important for our teachers based on our conversations. First of all is the salary. The salary table reflects a one-step plus full teacher's retirement paid going into the new year. As you all know, we've been working on this for a number of years, and we're really excited, and the teachers were very excited to be able to approve this. The other thing is a modification to the dress code policy that we discussed earlier today. We added language to the dress code policy. One of the things that the teachers have consistently brought year after year is the desire, the strong desire to wear jeans in the classroom. And we've talked it over and talked about it each time they brought it up. This year, we've decided to just add language to say that the administration has the right to declare a no jeans day if there are officials visiting schools or other important events going on. But as you can imagine, the teachers were really quite excited about that as well. We added $300 to steps 26 through 40, and also are recommending for approval a number of changes to the extra duty schedule. Those are the changes that are recommended by that extra duty committee that Ms. Calvin chairs, made up of administrators and teachers. They review those each year, and those recommendations then flow to the negotiations committee. We've also included for you this evening an updated administrative salary schedule for 25-26, which reflects a 2.4% increase accordingly for all administrators across the board. I'd like to say I really appreciate the work of all the team members, both the administration side and the UCTA. We had a really excellent negotiation this year, and a good discussion, and I feel like we made considerable progress. They took their vote, and the proposals were approved by 99% of all voting teachers. So pleased to recommend that for approval for you tonight.
Any questions, comments?
I'm glad to see that we've made it to paying full teacher retirement. I know that's really been a goal for a long time, and I'm glad we've made it there finally. So I do appreciate that. Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
And chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you got opportunity for comments from the audience? Dr. Federline, any? No? Okay. Then at this time, we will take a short recess before our due process hearing. Thank you. Okay, good evening. At this time, we will return back to the meeting. Next is new business. All right, no new business. Next is due process hearing for students A and B. Motion, discussion, and vote to approve the engagement letter of the Center for Education Law to advise the Board of Education as its legal counsel for the purpose of the student suspension hearings of student A and B. Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Yes. Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Student suspension due process appeal hearing for student A. The board president will ask the parents and students whether they wish the hearing to be an open session or an executive session. Do you wish to proceed in public or executive session? Okay. The board will consider, then the board will consider and vote to go into executive session. We will not, she wants it public. Pursuant to Oklahoma Statute Title 25-307B5 to hear evidence and discuss suspension of student in question. Consider the time, hearing, or disclosure. Okay. At any time during this hearing where disclosure information would violate confidentiality requirements of state or federal law. Opening statement by administration or its designee.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
President Reyes, members of the Board of Education, we're here tonight for a long-term suspension hearing for student A, who at the time was a high school student. The evidence will show that on the morning of April 9th, 2025, the high school administration was made aware of threats against student A stemming from an off-school altercation and certain text messages between student A and another student of the intent to fight that day. The evidence will further show that that morning student A was specifically told by Assistant Principal Cooper that student A was not to go to the bathroom and fight, and that student A's writing that he was willing to fight was not acceptable. It was also explained to student A that he was within 10 steps of an adult at the high school, and that student A was expected to walk away from any confrontation and go to an adult, something student A understood by repeating the expectations. Later that day, around lunchtime, footage shows student A and his friends being followed by other students. Rather than walking away, student A repeatedly made statements to the other students and did not go to an adult. This eventually led to a fight breaking out in which student A attacked another student and slammed the other student into a wall, which caused the student to receive staples in his head. At the end of the school and while outside, student A ignored a directive by Assistant Principal Robinson not to engage with other students. Instead, student A ran and jumped into a fight involving his younger brother and another student. This fight, also captured on video, shows student A, his brother student B, and his mother engaging in a physical fight with other students. During this fight, student A had a student in a headlock and refused directives to let go, instead stating something akin to he was going to put him out or put him to sleep. Student A only let go of the other student when student A's arms were forcibly removed from the neck of the other student. As a result of the events of April 9th, 2025, student A received a long-term suspension that extends through the entirety of the fall semester of the 2025-2026 school year for the following offenses in violation of board policies 5054 and 5050. Provoking a fight. Text messages show that student A received threatening text before the incident. Student A responded with text saying that he would fight them immediately instead of waiting until a later time. Fighting. In the first incident, inside the high school, student A was separated from all students. He saw another student and attacked him, causing the other student to crack his head open, which later required staples. Disobeying an official. Assistant Principal Robinson clearly told student A not to engage with other students during the second event that took place outside. Instead, student A jumped into the fight that student EG had started with another student. Fighting. Student A fought a student twice. The first time, student A jumped into the fight between Miss Gordon and the other student. They then separated. Then student A continues to follow the other student, tackles him, and puts him in a chokehold. Threat to student. Officer Chris Hall and Mr. Robinson told student A to let go of the other student while student A had him in a chokehold. Student A's response was, "No, I'm putting him to sleep." Student A's hands had to be physically removed from the other student's throats. Disruption. Student A was involved in both incidents, which caused 5 security officers, 4 principals, and Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation. In addition, several teachers came out of their classrooms into the hallways to help with crowd control and contact administration. The discipline imposed on student A was warranted by his conduct, and the administration is asking that the discipline longest permitted by law that doesn't involve a gun, the current semester and the next semester, be upheld in its entirety. Thank you.
Thank you. Opening statements by the parent, student, or their designees.
Yes. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Ashley Gordon, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight, though I come before you not as a parent seeking any special treatment, but as a mother who has spent years pleading for basic protections for my children, pleas that the Union Public Schools have repeatedly ignored. Tonight is not just about a fight, it's about fairness, and it's about truth, and it's about accountability. For years, I have documented emails, medical letters, 504 plans, and OCR complaints how Union has failed to protect my son Aiden. See, Aiden has type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune condition that doesn't take a break at the school door. Yet he was denied restroom access, left unaccompanied when escorts were promised, and repeatedly placed in dangerous situations both medically and socially. I reported bullying dozens of times, including racial slurs, threats of violence, stalking by a known group of students, only to be dismissed or told to just avoid certain places. And this has all been well documented. I've even been to the school and had in-person meetings. What message does that send to a child already fighting to stay emotionally and physically stable? Then, when I filed complaints with the Office for Civil Rights, who found Union in violation, rather than make these things right, that's when the retaliation began, which was years ago. My younger son, Evan, who is a strong student athlete, he just got the camp MVP award through the Bixby O-line D-line camp, was also swept up into the storm, suspended for defending his brother from an attack by over 15 students. We have the videos, we have the screenshots, and we have the transcripts of your staff admitting that they did not intervene. They didn't follow policy, they didn't protect them, and even one of them said that Aiden had it coming. That's all recorded. Yet, my children were punished the most severely. 1-year suspensions, no prior history, no weapons, no clear policy justification. Meanwhile, students who premeditated the attack and admitted to the threats have walked away with little to no consequence. As a matter of fact, they're all back in school. That is not just unfair, that is discriminatory, that is retaliatory, and it is devastating for kids who still believe that school was supposed to be a safe place. I've been painted as a problem parent. But the truth is, I'm a persistent parent. I show up, I document, I advocate, because I will not apologize ever for trying to protect my children when Union failed to. Tonight, I'm asking that the board do what the administration would not: review the full context, listen to the evidence, and recognize the situation for what it truly is: a systemic failure followed by retaliation disguised as discipline. Even now, I'm not sure I want my kids to even return. But I do want the truth on record, I want their names cleared, and I want the district to stop punishing students and families who dare to speak up.
Thank you. All right, this time we presentation of all the administration's evidence subject to cross-examination and questions from the Board of Education.
Mr. President, as the administration's first witness, we would call High School Assistant Principal Laura Stoff.
All right, at this time, we're gonna swear you in. Apologize. If you would stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Ms. Stoffer, during the 24-25 school year, would you tell the board what your position was?
I am an assistant principal at Union High School.
And how long have you been an assistant principal?
I just completed year 5.
As an assistant principal, is it common for you to assist in the investigation of violations of the Code of Student Conduct involving students who are both assigned to you and not.
Yes.
I'd like to direct your attention, the exhibits that I'll be looking at for the board, they're under tab A for student A. Who's, Ms. Gordon, do you mind if I use her first name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's for Ms. Gordon's son, Aiden. So if you look at Exhibit 1, did you recognize this board policy?
Yes.
Okay. And is it 5054 anti-violence?
Yes.
If you would, read the first paragraph of this policy.
The Union Public School District considers the safety and security of its employees, students, patrons, and other third-party visitors of the district to be a priority. Therefore, threats, threatening behavior, acts of violence, and any related conduct, including but not limited to physical violence, verbal or written threats or intimidation, intimidating gestures or actions, and violence against property will not be tolerated.
Okay. If you would, skip to the third paragraph of this policy. If you would, read the policy of the Board of Education.
Students found in violation of this policy may be subjected to any and all disciplinary action that may be imposed by the district's policy regarding student behavior, Board Policy Number 5050.
And if you would, read the last paragraph of this page, which is actually the last paragraph of the policy.
Students are responsible for notifying their principal or counselor or the executive director of human resources of any threats or violence they have witnessed or that have been made or perpetrated against them or others on district property or while at district-sponsored events.
Is this policy something that's reviewed by students at the beginning of each school year?
Yes.
If you would, please turn to Exhibit 2. Is this policy 50/50 student behavior?
Yes.
And I often refer to this as the Code of Student Conduct, so if I say that, that's what I mean. It lists on the first, well, it lists throughout the policy certain behaviors that may result in discipline for a violation committed by a student, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is not an exhaustive list, is it?
Correct, it is not.
Okay. And is that where it says in the heading violation of school rules, at the bottom of that paragraph, I believe it states this list includes but is not limited to?
Correct.
It'd be kind of difficult to try to list out everything that would be a potential violation, would it not?
Yes.
Right. So the date of importance at this hearing today is the date that the disciplinary offenses were committed. And that was April 9th of 2025, was it not?
Yes.
And what was your role in investigating the events of April 9th?
My role in the investigation was to follow the students throughout the building on camera and put together a timeline of events. I also had 2 students in my part of the alphabet that were also involved in the event. So it was my job to investigate and get all sides of students, what their viewpoint was of what happened during that day as well.
Did you also review various emails between administrators and other written document that came into your possession?
Yes.
I'd like to turn your attention to Exhibit 3, if you would, please. And this is an email from James Cooper to Bo Brannon. Who is Mr. Cooper?
Mr. Cooper was an assistant principal at the high school in the school year 24-25.
And who is Bo Brannon?
Bo Brannon is the head principal of Union High School.
According, well, if you look at page 2, this was sent by Mr. Cooper to Principal Brannon.
Correct.
And it recounts a series of discussions that Mr. Cooper had that morning with various students, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And just to go through it real quickly, in the first paragraph, he talks about a student GL and his brother who came to his office between 8:10 and 8:15 reporting a fight at the mall yesterday between 2 and 3 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did you learn during the course of your investigation that that was a fight that involved Aiden?
Yes.
It goes on to say that GL reported that he was receiving verbal threats from Aiden to fight, correct?
Correct.
And then GL listed all the students involved and that Mr. Cooper reached out to their APs and Mr. Ducker. How are assistant principals at the high school assigned?
We are assigned by last names of students. So for example, I'm part of the S through Z alphabet range, so they would be my students.
Okay. And who is Mr. Ducker?
Mr. Ducker is the principal over at the Alternative Education Center.
And he indicates that Mr. Ducker was in contact with GL's parent, and they attempted to find the students involved, but none were on campus at the time.
Correct.
It then goes on to indicate that Mr. Cooper stated that he spoke with Aiden's mother and reviewed her emails. So she had been emailing the district, correct?
Correct.
And she was saying that the students fought at the mall, and Mr. Cooper asked her if she had filed a police report, which she said yes, and that she reported that there could be potential guns involved.
Correct.
Okay. Then Mr. Cooper goes on to say during the first hour, he got GL back to the office, and then on the way to the office with GL, they saw Aiden outside of his office, and security searched him. No guns and weapons were in GL's possession. Is that correct?
Correct.
Have you found any information that indicates that that was wrong or incorrect in any way?
Not at all.
Okay. Then he says that he called GL's mother and let her know that we had searched GL. She felt concerned for her safety, and that GL was working at a choir event at the South Doors right next to security. Then let's go to the second page. Now, just for everybody's benefit, how many periods are in a school day at the high school?
There are 6 periods.
When is the first hour or first period?
First hour starts at 8:40 and ends about 9:40, 8:40, about a full hour.
Okay. Mr. Cooper then went on to say, I went to make sure Aiden went to his first hour and to let him know that we were addressing the students. And then he goes on to say, I got back to my office and Aiden's mom called with a different student threatening to fight Aiden. And that Mr. Cooper spoke to security Wingo and let him know that Mrs. Gordon was mentioning a new fight situation in the bathroom and to have the team look out for it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in the course of your investigation, did you determine that that occurred?
Which part?
The part of Mr. Cooper speaking to security window and letting him know the mother's concerned about the bathroom.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper then goes on to say, I went to Aiden's second hour and met with him regarding the new threat, and that it was from initials TC, and that he forwarded the message to Mr. Robinson. Why was that?
Because Mr. Robinson is TC's assistant principal. It's part of his alphabet.
Okay. He goes on to say that Aiden believed that the message was from TC to fight him. Aiden said that AO, who's a female, had additional threatening messages. Is that what you understood?
Yes.
And it says the messages were from prior to the mall incident the day before.
Correct.
And it goes on to say that AO said she wasn't receiving any threats, only Aiden, and that Aiden's ex wanted to see Aiden hurt. Is that what your investigation concluded?
Yes.
It goes on to say that Mr. Cooper explained to Aiden and AO that they're not to fight. They're not to go to the bathroom since fighting was mentioned in the bathroom 4th hour. And that he explained to them that writing that you were willing to fight is not acceptable. During the course of your investigation, did you learn that Aiden had sent texts to another student regarding fighting?
Yes.
And what do you recall those texts said?
It says something to the fact of, why wait, let's fight now.
Mr. Cooper then goes on to say, I explained that they are within 10 steps of an adult in the building, and they are to walk away and go to an adult. What building is he referring to?
The high school, Union High School.
And then he indicates that they, meaning Aiden and AO, repeated the expectations. Is that common when you give an expectation to a student to have them repeat it?
Yes.
Why is that?
Just so we make sure that they understand the directive.
He then indicates that he walked Aiden to class and allowed AO to return to class. Then finally, Assistant Principal Cooper states that he debriefed with Ms. Altum and Mr. Robinson. Why would he debrief with them?
Because AO is part of Ms. Altum's alphabet, and then TC was Mr. Robinson's alphabet.
Now, I'd like to turn your attention to Exhibit 4. And during the course of your investigation, did you review this?
Yes.
And this is a behavior detail report that was submitted by Mr. Cooper, was it not?
Correct.
And it talks about an event that occurred in the high school.
Correct.
I'm not going to belabor to read this, but this is a fairly detailed explanation by Principal Cooper regarding his earlier conversation with Aiden, as well as what occurred at the high school, correct?
Correct.
We have this on video, so I think it will be easier to watch it, and then this also involves a second incident, does it not, that occurred?
Correct.
And did that occur after school was out?
No, it occurred during the school day, but after the initial fight that occured.
Did the initial fight that occurred happen shortly before the noon hour?
Yes.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that the second incident occurred between 2 and 3 p.m.?
It actually occurred about 12:07 p.m.
Okay. The
So,
incident
15
outside?
minutes. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then this also speaks to a suspension that was administered to Aiden, correct?
Correct.
Now, as a result of the second incident, was Aiden given an opportunity to write a statement setting forth his version of events?
Yes, he was.
How do you know this happened?
After the second event, Aiden was escorted up to my office, where I supplied him and some other students that were also involved with the paper that you see, like 2 pages from where you're looking now.
Is that the last page of Exhibit 4?
Yes, the last page of Exhibit 4, and Aiden wrote his name at the top of the paper, but did not, even after encouraging to do so, he did not write anything further.
I now want to direct your attention to Exhibit 5. And this is a multi-page document. Do you know who prepared it?
I did.
And for the benefit of the board, I will explain the highlighting for you. It was in an effort to redact student names, but to also add some clarity. What's referred to as Team 1 is Aiden, and then other students that were identified with him are marked as Gordon Group S2, meaning Student 2, Gordon Group S3, Student 3, Gordon Group S4. Team 2 is referred to as Group 2, and there are 5 students designated as S1 through S5. So that's the meaning behind the yellow and green highlighting. And then on the second page, there's blue highlighting that talks about student EG. Is that Aiden's brother?
Yes.
And then if you go to page 3 of this document, you'll see under the heading, high school students involved in outside event. That's the event in the parking lot, correct?
Correct.
And it has Team 1, which is Aiden and Gordon Group, Student 4, and Team 2 is Student AT and Student JT. Is that correct?
Correct.
Student AT and Student JT were not involved at all based upon your investigation with regard to the inside event.
That is correct.
At this time, Mr. President, and in conjunction with reviewing this timeline of event that Ms. Stoffer put together, I would request that the board go into executive session because the video that we have, it is not possible to blur or otherwise redact out the faces of the other students involved. And I believe it's appropriate under 25 OS 307B7, confidentiality of other students, if I got the section right.
You did.
And just so that the board knows, I had an opportunity to talk to Ms. Gordon prior to the hearing regarding the video and going into executive session for the limited purpose of reviewing it and going through this timeline. And I don't believe she has an objection.
I do not. He explained it to me, thank you.
Is there a motion for executive session session to go in to view the video?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Wynn?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Roman? The chair votes yes as well. We are in executive session for the view of the video. All right, we are now back from executive session.
During the break, it appeared to a number of people that either Aiden or Evan might have been recording the executive session. I asked Ms. Gordon to review their phones, and she indicated that they had not. Is that correct, Ms. Gordon?
Yes, sir.
Just for purposes of the record, Exhibit 7 was the video. That's why there's nothing there. I want to now have you, Ms. Stoffer, go to Exhibit 8. And you've had an opportunity to review the statement of Brent Robinson, correct?
Yes,
And he's the assistant principal who we saw in white?
correct.
Okay. And does the information in this statement mesh with your investigation
Yes,
and the information you learned?
yes.
Okay. And it starts, during lunch, Officer Hall made a radio call that AG was trying to get into the south doors with an individual who is not a Union High School student,
Correct,
and that was his brother, correct?
correct.
And then Officer Hall turned him away, and then Principal Robinson says he responded to the radio call and walked out the south doors to ensure they didn't enter the fine arts stores. Is that
Correct, yes,
Okay, because in order to be in the high school, you have to be a high school student, correct?
correct,
And the brother was an 8th grade student
right,
who attended school at a different campus.
correct.
All right. Mr. Robinson goes on, as I was walking around the south side of the building for the football stadium, I came across an adult female, and that's Mrs. Gordon, correct?
Correct,
Who was on the phone yelling about her son being jumped at school.
correct.
So this would have taken place when Principal Robinson was over by her car.
Correct,
Okay. And then saw AG, which was Aiden, sitting in the backseat of the car. His girlfriend, AO, was there also. EG, who's the brother, was on the opposite side of the car.
correct,
Okay. And while AO was showing me a video she took on her phone of the students following her and Aiden in the school, she pointed across the parking lot and said something to the effect of, "That's them right there." Correct?
correct.
Okay. The students who AO identified, did your investigation determine if they were the same students who had been following Aiden in the high school?
No, they were not the same students.
Mrs. Gordon started walking toward the students, indicating she wanted to get video of them so she could identify them. And then Principal Robinson asked her multiple times not to approach the students. Aiden and his brother then started running toward the students also, and that's what we saw, correct?
Correct,
I called on the radio for all available administrators and security. So that was a second security call, correct?
correct,
And then the brother ran up to another student, AE, and they began fighting.
correct,
Aiden then began fighting AE as well.
correct,
And that was what you described as 2-on-1.
correct.
JT, that's another student,
Mhm.
of the misidentified students, correct?
Correct,
Then jumped in and started fighting Aiden. Mrs. Gordon then also began fighting JT. How was she fighting JT?
So in the video that we saw, you can see Miss Gordon enter into the fight because JT was fighting one of her sons.
And did she grab him?
Yes.
And then started, Principal Robinson says, I started trying to break up the fight between the brother and AE. Once I got them separated, EG continued to try to get through me to go after AE again, correct?
Correct.
And then once they were finally separated, I tried to separate Aiden and JT. They were on the ground and Aiden had JT in a headlock. Officer Hall and I were directing Aiden to let go of him, and he refused, saying something like, no, I'm going to put him out. Officer Hall and I had to each pull one of Aiden's arms off of JT's neck to finally separate them. Tulsa Police Department then arrived and took statements from some of the people involved, and students involved in the fight, including Aiden, were taken to the nurse's office and then their respective offices. In their respective offices, you mean the offices of the assistant principals assigned to them?
Correct.
Right. So let's go back to Exhibit 5 here real quickly. And in particular, I want to talk about the high school students involved in the outside event. And in the middle of the page, you'll see in yellow highlight, Gordon Group S4, student 4. Everybody see that?
It's on page 1 page?
It's on the third page of Exhibit 5.
With the pink.
Yes, with the pink.
Okay.
Okay, right below Gordon Group S4, there's a sentence that starts, while he's on the ground, student EG comes over and stomps on student AT. And then a couple of lines down, right after a pink, student AT at the end of the sentence. It says, Officer Ted Humphrey arrives on the scene at 12:08:08. Aiden Gordon disobeys commands from Mr. Robinson and Officer Chris Hall to let go of student AT. Aiden Gordon remarks, no, I'm putting him to sleep. Officer Hall said he had to grab one of Aiden's hands and pry it off student AT's neck. Then Mr. Robinson had to pry the other hand from AT's neck. And this is your summary of the investigation.
Correct.
Now, who were you able to determine started the second altercation?
The one outside?
Yes.
Yeah, the initial start of that was Aiden's brother.
Okay. And then Aiden engaged in it.
Yes, so Aiden's brother tackled a student and then Aiden jumped in on that fight.
And these were students who weren't involved at all in the incident inside the school
Correct.
because they were just identified by Aiden's girlfriend.
Correct.
And then on the next to the last line on the right side, it says Officer Humphrey immediately takes Aiden to the nurse's office where he's checked for injuries, and then you subsequently went to check on other students in the nurse's office, correct?
Correct.
All right. states the reasons for Aiden's length of suspension. Initially, it was 1 calendar year, correct?
Correct.
And I'll have Ms. Calvin talk about, that was subsequently changed.
Correct.
All right. It goes, the reasons for Aiden's length of suspension. Number 1, provoking a fight. Text messages show that Aiden received threatening texts before the first incident. Aiden responded to this text saying that he would fight them immediately instead of waiting until a later time. And this was after he had the communication with Principal Cooper,
Correct.
who said, walk away, find an adult, there's one within 10 steps, correct?
Correct.
The second offense, fighting. In the first incident inside the high school, Aiden was separated from all students. He sees Group 2 Student 1 and attacks him, causing Group 2 Student 1 to crack his head open, which later required staples. And we saw that in the video, correct?
Correct.
Number 3, disobeying an official. Mr. Robinson clearly told Aiden not to engage with other students during the second event that took place outside. Instead, Aiden jumped into a fight that his brother had started with student AT.
Correct.
The fourth, fighting. Aiden fights student JT twice. The first time, Aiden jumps into the fight between Ms. Gordon and the student. They are separated. Then Aiden continues to follow student JT, tackles him, and puts him in a chokehold. And that's what we saw, correct?
Correct.
Number 5, threat to student. Officer Chris Hall and Mr. Robinson tell Aiden to let go of student JT while he has him in a chokehold. Aiden's response was, "No, I'm going to put him to sleep." Aiden's hands had to physically be removed from student JT's throat, correct?
Correct.
And number 6, disruption. Aiden was involved in both incidents, which caused 5 security officers, 4 principals, and the Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation. In addition, several teachers came out of classrooms into the hallways to help with crowd control and to contact administration. And that's when we saw in the video of the teacher trying to hold back the students.
Correct.
And then all of this was confirmed in all of the information that you reviewed as in assembling the investigation with regard to Aiden, correct?
Correct.
And then as reflected on Exhibit 4, that's what led to Principal Cooper imposing discipline. All of these events that we talked about.
Correct.
That occurred inside the school and outside in the parking lot, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions from Ms. Stauffer.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Ms. Gordon, I'm sorry.
So no.
Not yet, we're not there. All right, any more witnesses, anything?
Ms. Gordon will have an opportunity
Okay.
to cross-examine the witness.
All right.
Just, Ms. Gordon, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the assistant principal?
Not necessarily a question, but at one point you guys keep stating that at any point in time, Aiden was told that he could find an adult within 10 steps. And at 2 times, and I know you guys don't have privy to that, I actually do have the videos. Aiden did attempt to go to one teacher and the door was shut.
And
But what I was gonna say.
present all your evidence, just
Okay.
you have questions for her.
The question, oh, my bad. The question would be, at one point in time, was Aiden not seen on video asking a teacher for help?
Not that I was aware of,
Okay.
because I don't have audio, so it appears
So-
that he is talking, but not that I'm aware of. No
Oh, from
teacher.
you can, okay,
Right, and no teacher reported that to me when I interviewed them.
I'm sure, okay. That's it.
Any more witnesses?
Board questions?
Oh, it's board.
I just had a clarifying question.
Sorry.
If I'm reading the timeline correctly, these fights happen back to back, like within about a total of 15 minutes or less?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had that timeline correct. That was all.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Call Sandy Calvin.
Do you swear to affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Calvin, just for the record, what's your position at Union Public Schools?
Associate Superintendent.
As the associate superintendent, were you assigned to conduct a review hearing with regard to Aiden's discipline prior to this board hearing?
Yes, I am the third level of appeal.
And in the course of that third level appeal, did you review the second level appeal decision?
Yes, I did.
If you would turn to Exhibit 9, please. Is this the decision of the building level review committee?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And they conducted what's referred to as a second level appeal conference. Is that correct?
Correct.
So when the second level review committee affirmed the discipline and the length of the suspension.
Correct.
Okay, and that was initially for 1 calendar year, correct?
Correct.
All right. And this letter indicates that Ms. Gordon was informed of a right to a third level appeal, which would include contacting the superintendent's office within 24 hours, and that occurred, correct?
Correct.
And it indicates that a copy of Board Policy 5050, which outlined the appeal process for each level, was provided to, although this is addressed to Aiden Gordon, it says here Ms. Gordon, correct?
Correct.
So Ms. Gordon availed herself of her third level appeal rights,
Correct.
and you were assigned to hear that, correct?
Correct.
What did you review as part of your third level appeal?
I reviewed all of the documents that you have already reviewed this evening and the video numerous times.
Did you conduct any interviews of anybody?
Yes, I did. Initially, I met with Ms. Gordon and Aiden and spoke to both of them regarding the incident. And then I did interview other individuals that were involved.
Students or administrators?
Administrators.
What did Aiden have to say to you with regard to the incident of April 9th?
He affirmed that it happened and that he was involved in it.
did he take any responsibility for his actions?
He admitted that he was involved in it.
Did he make a statement that this was a one-off event and it wouldn't occur again?
No.
What did Ms. Gordon tell you?
Regarding this event?
Yes. Let me ask it this way. Did Ms. Gordon shed any new light on the event of April 9th that you did not already know from the materials that we've reviewed?
No.
Did Ms. Gordon bring up a laundry list of prior events to try to excuse this?
Yes, there were prior events discussed.
To you, did those prior events have anything to cause you to believe that Aiden was not responsible for his actions on April 9th?
No.
And you had the opportunity to reverse the disciplinary decision, correct?
Correct.
Did you find any reason to reverse the determination of guilt of Aiden for the offenses that were listed?
No.
Did you have any reason to modify the length of the out-of-school suspension?
I did.
And explain to the board what those, or what that was.
The modification was to the length of the suspension. The original consequence was a full calendar year, which would have been April until the next April, April of '26. And a full calendar year is only held in the incident of a gun. And this was not a gun, so there was not a gun involved. So it is 1 semester plus 1 semester. So the suspension was amended to allow Aiden to return the beginning of 2nd semester in 2026.
And you also, well, is Exhibit 10 your letter to Mrs. Gordon explaining your decision as well as her subsequent appeal rights to the Board of Education?
Yes, it is.
And Ms. Gordon timely appealed, and that's why we're here, correct?
That is correct.
And the second page identifies the Board of Appeal hearing procedure, including the right to have a public or a private hearing, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Gordon, any questions for Ms. Calvin?
Yes, sir. Ms. Calvin, hi. Nice to see you again. I do have a question, if you may, ma'am. At any point in time, did you ask Aiden if this was going to occur again or if this was just a one-off event?
I don't recall asking him that.
So, yes, ma'am, and I understand. I'm just stating the basis that he wasn't asked if this would happen again or if it was a one-off event. And secondly, at any point in time, do you recall where Aiden did indicate to you he asked Mr. Cooper to stay in the office because he did not want to get into a fight? And he was denied that.
I don't recall exactly.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all, thank you.
Any questions from the board? No, okay.
The administration has no more witnesses with regard to student A.
Thank you. Okay, next we have the presentation of the parents and students' evidence subject to cross-examination and questions from the Board of Education.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, thank you for having me. I'll try to make this brief because I'm sure you guys are tired.
I'm sorry, if Ms. Gordon's going to testify, then I would request that she be sworn.
Yes, sir, I'm glad to do that.
Yep, if you don't mind, just
Do you
raise your right
need-
hand, please. Yes. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, I'll try to keep this brief. Essentially, we're all here because of an altercation that took place, and I know that the school is, or the attorneys are really trying to make it seem like I was trying to make an excuses at no point in time, and if any of them ever came to you that we did the levels of appeals, at no point did I ask that the suspension, that the boys not be held accountable, or that I not even be held accountable. I simply asked that the length of it not be held to the matter that it was. So when we get into it, because there is a history, I have contacted the Office of Civil Rights, and this is why I feel like I've tried to work with union, and anytime something happens, we are retaliated against. Into the midst of, when I made the first report, Aiden was kicked off the track team the very next day, as soon as it came out. So just, there's a history of where there's something going on, I take it to the school, and even then when the Office of Civil Rights said, union has violated Aiden's civil rights on 3 separate occasions, do you want to pursue this? You can in a civil case. I didn't want to, because I don't want to sue a school. I just wanted it to be made right. And so even now, I have a law firm that's like, hey, we're willing to take this. I have over 400 documents of evidence that I could have posted online. I have a website that's waiting to just be put online with all the documentation and evidence. I haven't, because I'm still just fighting to make it right. So in regards to what happened, I have been going to the school since the past couple of months. This was a buildup. Essentially, my son broke up with a little girl, and it didn't go well when he broke up with her. I won't list her name for her own privacy, but she started stalking Aiden. I went to Mr. Cooper, and where I believe I made the mistake is when I realized I wasn't getting help from Mr. Cooper, I should have went further. I didn't. I just thought Mr. Cooper was helping. So I went to Mr. Cooper in emails, and I have those documents, and I went to Mr. Cooper in person, and I said, hey, it's escalating. She's stalking him. She's making threats. She's threatening me to get him kicked off the wrestling team, which he knows he loves. She's having kids harass him. This all escalated to a point where she tried to set Aiden up on April 8th to be jumped and robbed at Woodland Hills Mall. We're there shopping for my daughter, who's an AP student, honor student, for prom. And Aiden gets approached by them. They attack him. Aiden and his brother, they defend themselves. The next morning, I'd already emailed the school. I sent in a police report. I'm like, Aiden goes to school. He messages me, he tells me, hey mom, I'm getting threats. I don't want to fight, I don't want to get in trouble. Can you let Mr. Cooper know I'm in the building today? I call Mr. Cooper, I follow it up, which I'll give you guys with a email at 10:53 a.m. that day. Mr. Cooper was aware, and I even called security and talked to them next, that he knew who was threatening Aiden, he knew where the fight was allegedly supposed to take place, and he knew what time they said at lunch. Mr. Cooper assured me, which he's no longer with you guys, that he was going to escort Aiden to class the entire day, or somebody from security would. Because I asked, do I need to come get Aiden? And he said, no, that's not needed. They didn't escort Aiden to class. As a matter of fact, they just told him to avoid the restrooms. Aiden asked Mr. Cooper if he could stay in his office because he did not want to get into a fight. He said, I'll stay in here all day. I don't want to get suspended, and I don't want to get kicked off the wrestling team. Can I stay in here? They told him no. They told him to find an adult. What you didn't see and you can't see, but if I post the videos online, you will see, Aiden went to 2 different teachers. The first teacher shut and locked her door. Another teacher, Miss Collins, his girlfriend has the video of where they tried to get her help, and she told them, he was screaming for help at that point, to stop yelling or he would get in trouble. And then at that time, this was before this happened, I'm on the PTA. I do the PTA at all the kids' school. Because Aiden is a type 1 diabetic, I go to the school all the time. When my daughter was in kindergarten, I went to the school the first year, every day for lunch. I'm always at the school. It is not it's not without the realm of possibility that I'm not gonna be at the school. Aiden messaged me, and I brought the messages. Mama, he's blowing me up. Can I get lunch money? I tried to send it to him, but because I sent him so much money, his Cash App was blocked. So he said, can I use your card because I have it? I told him yes. Then he said, can you come pick us up because we don't want to walk. They were afraid that the kids were going to follow them. At which point I told him I can't. I don't even have room for you guys. I'm in a Bronco Sport. He said, we'll sit on each other's laps. I said, fine, boy, I'm on my way. What you didn't see in the videos, I didn't park there initially. That's by the wrestling room. I always park there. I was behind the buses. I message Aiden, hey, I'm here. He doesn't come out. So at that point, I'm still waiting on him, and my older son, he calls me and he's screaming, Mom, where are you at? Get to the school. I'm at the school. What are you talking about? And he said, Aiden's being jumped. I was just on the phone with him. He's being jumped. You gotta get there, you gotta get there. I pull around, and at first I'm so discombobulated because I don't know what to do. I know I can't go into school. So I call the school. I get hung up on the first time. I call them back. I get student aid. I say, you gotta get security. They're at 2nd floor, my son's being jumped. The kid said, not my problem, and hung up. We later find out that's a friend of the friends that's done it. At that point, I literally called 911. I called the police myself. I called the police, I'm crying, I'm screaming, please get to the school. I don't know if he's hurt, I don't know what's going on. Can you please get here? A little bit later, while I'm on the phone with the police, I'm telling them, oh my God, my son's walking out, I can see him. Mind you, from this point I hang up because I have 2 phones and I'm recording now. When my son walks up to the car, he's kind of limping. I'm trying to check him over, and that's when Mr. Robinson comes out. When Mr. Robinson comes out, he does not say, Aiden, are you okay? Let's get you back inside so it doesn't continue escalating. Let me check you over. His first words were, and it's recorded, I saw the little video from yesterday talking about the fight at Woodland Hills Mall. It looks like you had it coming. This was from a school administrator, and that is absolutely recorded that I planned on posting online. Afterwards, Aiden's girlfriend goes, that's them right there. I look at Mr. Robinson, and again, you guys don't hear audio, and I say, are you going to just let the kids who attacked my son come outside? He said, we're not dealing with that now. Now, I admit, I'm at fault. I didn't hear never. In my mind, when I'm not dealing with that now, in my mind that meant never. That's just what I thought. And it was wrong, but that's what I thought. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get them on video, because when the police get here, because I called the police, they're going to jail. Somebody's going to jail today. So I started walking up. At that point, that's when you see the kids approach us. And one of the kids, and they were inside, because we have the video from inside. It was the same kids. They approach and start throwing off their backpacks, indicating they're ready to fight. And that's when the fight happened with Evan. I was trying to pull kids off, because at one time there was 6 or 7 people on Evan. I was trying to break up the fight. And then my phone got broke, it still broke. My phone got broke, I was attacked, I had to go to the hospital. I had to get put back on medication because I have a brain injury. So this kid punched me repeatedly in my face and in my head. This all transpired. Again, I'm recording the entire thing. My issue and my concern was, I had done my due diligence. I went to the school for months. I emailed for months, and granted, I accept full responsibility. I should have went above Mr. Cooper's head. I didn't, because I trusted him. And I went for months, and I said, I need your help. Can you please help me before this gets out of control? Nobody helped me. I tried, and I called them, and I said, this is where it's gonna happen. This is what's gonna take place. This is who the people are. They promised me they were walking Aiden to class. Nobody walked him to class. I would have came and got him. I had no problem coming to get him. And then later on, the next day, Mr. Cooper calls me, and I recorded that 40-minute conversation. And Mr. Cooper admits he had a family emergency, and that's why Aiden wasn't escorted to class. So I understand our part in this. I'm not asking you to say, hey, these kids, what they did, there was fighting. I can understand how terrifying that must have been to staff, because nobody knows what was happening. Nobody knows if somebody showed with a weapon. I get that. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some sort of discipline action, but Aiden has never been in trouble before. One of the kids that attacked Aiden had a knife on him. They were making messages, and threats went on the next day. They thought Aiden was stabbed because they brought a knife to kill my son. And I don't know if you saw me, but when the video was playing, I was crying because I had to watch my son be chased down like by a pack of rabid dogs. And that should have never happened, because I went for months. And this is not just, and you guys are like, well, this was just blown out of hand. But it wasn't. It wasn't blown out of hand, because this has been going on for years. I have documentation of me going to Mr. Federline in 2023 about continuous bullying. I have doctor's notes from therapists where Aiden had to be pulled out of school last year because of continued harassment, bullying, and racial slurs, where his doctors had to put him on a medical leave and have him on homebound. And Aiden, and I've documents, letters from his therapist stating that Aiden was excited to come back to school this year, and he was. You have a kid that asked for help multiple times, and you have a kid that literally sat there and asked a principal, can I stay in your office? And he was told no. And then they sent him out there like a pack of wolves. And then they said, find an adult within 10 feet. He did, twice. And twice, both adults denied helping him. And then one of the, Miss Stafford, who gave her testimony, she literally said, when you questioned about Miss Collins and asking, she's an adult, could she not have helped? She could have. But it was systemically a failure on Union's part, because even then they had the opportunity. Okay, the fight took place. Why wasn't Aiden pulled into the office? Why weren't these kids separated into the office? They allowed Aiden and his group of friends to come outside, and they allowed those group of kids that just attacked Aiden to come outside, letting it further escalate. And about Evan trying to approach, Evan knew the security guard because Evan goes there after school for wrestling himself. The security guard didn't initially tell Evan, hey, leave. Evan went up to the security guard and said, I'm looking for my brother Aiden, can I go find him? The security guard says no, and on camera you'll see Evan turned around and left. When they tried to go back into the school, it was because Aiden's insulin pump had been pulled off of his body during the assault, and his it's called a Omnipod transmitter that controls his insulin, was lost in the fight. He was trying to help his brother go back in there and find it. I later on emailed the school and said, did you guys find his transmitter? Because we have to have it. They did, by the way. And I get that it's a big school. But it's what you're not seeing the whole picture. It wasn't just, hey, he's going in trying to, no, he was helping his brother find his insulin pump. And then later on, the school didn't just take Aiden in to get medical treatment. No ambulance was called for him. He was without insulin for several hours. I had to tell them, you guys didn't even offer my son medical aid. And at that point, a staff member said, we'll walk him to the nurse's office. Mind you, when they walked him to, the security guard who had thrown Aiden into a chokehold, threw him on the ground, walked him back through the path, and Aiden asked him, are you seriously gonna walk me back through these kids handcuffed? And he said, yep, you're a tough guy, you could handle it. And he went and split them right through there. He could have been viciously attacked again. The ball was dropped all the way around. It was dropped on my end, it was dropped on their end, it was dropped on my kids' end. I get that. But it seems like the only people that are taking any accountability is me and my kids. And I know you guys said you can't say what the students got, but the kids who viciously attacked him were all back in school within 10 days. Even the one that had a knife. But Aiden, who's never been in trouble, who has history of documentation, I uploaded over 400 documents to the law firm that's going to be representing us. Over 400 documents were uploaded of showing this has went on for years. It's not just a one and done type of thing. Aiden has had no history of ever assaulting anybody. He's never been in trouble. I only ask, please don't deny my kids the rights and education. I don't even know if I'd want Aiden back in August. I'd like him to do online school, But the only thing that helps him, and he'll tell you with his depression and his anxiety, is wrestling. He just wants to wrestle. Even if he could come back and do online school and just come back for his 6th period, that's all he was trying to do. And the same with Evan. They've already done months of, and had a hard time months, far more months than anybody else got of disciplinary action. And I'm glad to present all this for you. I thank you guys for your time. I understand you're gonna have to do what you gotta do, but if you look over this and if you truly take into account all the things that you couldn't see and that you couldn't hear, and the months and years of documentation, I think you'd see that there's a bigger picture to this. And I'm just asking for some fairness in this because Union dropped the ball too. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a few questions for Mrs. Gordon. Did I understand you correctly when you stated that you went to the school because Aiden called you saying he was afraid?
So, no, sir. What I was saying is Aiden messaged me for lunch money, and I got the text here. Aiden was asking me to feed him and his group of friends. So he had said, Mama, I'm hungry, and asked me to send him money. I sent back that, hey, I cannot Cash App you. He said, can I use your card? And can you give me $25 on it? I said, sure, and then he messaged back, I love you, thank you, wait, are you still in the area? Can you just drive us?
Okay. I thought you had said he texted you because he was afraid.
Earlier that day, he had messaged that morning and asked me to let Mr. Cooper know that he was there.
Right, and you did that.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that's in Mr. Cooper's email that he
Yes, sir.
sent to the Principal Brandon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you were a participant in this fight as well, were you not?
Wouldn't necessarily say I was a participant,
Well,
but did I?
Let me ask you this, ma'am. You're an adult, correct?
I am.
Okay. You saw the video which showed your son, not Aiden, but your other son, running up and tackling the student into the car, correct?
I saw the video.
Ma'am, did you see that?
I saw.
Did you see that on the video?
I saw the video where they approached Evan as well, and they threw their backpacks down to fight.
And then you, as an adult,
Tried to break up the
grabbed
fight.
a student. You grabbed their hair, did you not?
No, I grabbed them to pull them off because at this point in time, there was 6 or 7 people on top of Evan, and I was trying to break up the fight.
Okay, well, the video will show how many people were on top of that.
It will. I
correct?
have the same video.
Well, I think everybody watched the video.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And as a result of that, you've actually been banned from campus for assaulting a child, have you not?
They didn't say it was because of that. It was breaking up the fight, and like I said, I was attempting to break up the fight, and any person from IMSA to Tulsa Police Department to their attorney said that they would have done the same thing in my situation.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about what you did. So okay, I'm just trying to understand. So you're not responsible for your actions.
No, I'm 100% responsible, yes, sir.
Okay.
100%. I fully am, just like Union is, because if they hadn't have let those students walk out, it wouldn't have happened.
And you said that Evan was trying to come into the school to help Aiden look for his pump.
His insulin pump was pulled off his body and he lost his transmitter.
I understand that, but didn't you state earlier that Evan had contacted you because Aiden had been jumped?
No, sir. I have an older son named Devin. My oldest son was on the phone with Aiden.
Okay, but Evan was not at school.
He was not. So me and Evan were headed that day to go get a restraining order against the girl who was doing all this.
Okay. You saw the video of Aiden walking out with his friends, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. I'm assuming that if Aiden lost his insulin pump, that would be something that he would know about, correct?
He did not immediately notice it.
Well, he certainly didn't know it when he was walking out of the building, and he certainly didn't know it when he was sitting in the front seat of your car, because you made no efforts at that point in time to get it, correct?
Sir, I don't know if you're familiar with type 1 diabetes, but the way the Omnipod insulin is, it comes off all the time in wrestling. That's usually why I'm there early.
Yeah.
So it slides off. It was not until we were searching him for injuries that he patted his leg and realized he does not have his pump on.
Well-
Then he patted his pockets and he didn't have his transmitter.
When he was in your car.
At one point in the car, we noticed it, and as if you see it in the video, he's also patting his leg. He's searching.
I also saw him run to join the fight with his brother, correct?
He did run over there. Yes, sir, he did. And at this point, like I said, Aiden's insulin pump had been off.
So, let's go back to this protective order and why Evan wasn't there. You indicated that you and Evan were going down to get a protective order.
Yes, sir. We were gonna go downtown that day to get a protective order.
And that was a protective order against Aiden's ex-girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For you and Evan, correct?
For Aiden, but Evan was going with me as a witness, and at that point, none of my family wanted me to go alone. My dad was gonna try to meet us downtown, but he hadn't been able to leave yet.
I have no further questions.
Yes, on that exhibit that you were referring to, you gonna hand that over to us, please?
Yes, sir, you can have it.
You guys have questions now, you want to see it?
Mr. Rainey, do you have copies of these?
No,
Would you like to read
Sorry, I
them?
didn't know how many
All right.
copies I was supposed to bring.
Thank you.
I looked at them before
Thank you,
we
sir.
started.
If you need me to explain any, I can.
May I ask who is Holly?
I'm sorry, Hobby?
Holly,
Holly?
H-O-L-L.
Oh, Washington, she is the school counselor.
Okay,
The
thank
kids'
you.
counselor.
Thank you. On the messages regarding walking in and shooting, what is that referring to?
So, sir, that was establishing a timeline of where I had sent the messages to the school as well. That's his ex-girlfriend who was asking those group of boys who jumped Aiden the day before to bring a weapon. And that's where I told them I thought there might be a weapon involved, where she asked them to bring a gun. And she was like, the gun is at the absolute last resort. She admits to wanting to video it and that they were to rob him because he always has money.
And to confirm, this is where? At the school or at the mall?
So that was the day before at the mall. But I had emailed Mr. Cooper and I was trying to show him, hey, Mr. Cooper, this is really escalating. And I'm sincerely afraid of what's gonna happen because this is, like, they're now involving gangs. These people are saying that they're part of, like, MS-13. I don't know what that gang is, but they're saying they're gang affiliated. It's a huge, like, they're part of the cartel, very Hispanic, 15 to 20 of them, you saw the video, chasing them down. And she had involved them. And that's where I told Mr. Cooper, I'm like, hey, I'm really getting scared that this is stepping up. We really need to do something. And I understand that there's only so much the school can do during school hours. He can't help what happens outside of school hours. But I went for months, and I feel like if it hadn't have been ignored, it probably wouldn't have came to this. Or if they would have pulled anybody out of class that day and kept somebody, even sent Aiden home or kept him in class, put him in detention for all I care, it wouldn't have happened to a fight. And what you're not seeing, but you guys can see at a later date and time, that'll be posted. You have Mr. Shagwag, which is on recording, stating that it wasn't a sanctioned fight, and if it was, that Aiden would have lost. And then Mr. Robinson saying that Aiden had it coming. You have two separate principals on two separate times admitting those things that I have the audio recordings of. And I have the video recording of Aiden asking Miss Collins for help and being denied. That I uploaded to the law firm.
Ms. Grogan, may I ask a question to Aiden? Is that, Aiden, as we had evidence, I observed that you were walking in a pattern around the second floor. And any time did you pass any of our SRO officers?
No, that's what I was trying to look for. That's why I was going around trying to look for someone.
And tell me, why didn't you walk into the assistant principal's office?
Well, me and my friends, we meet up at those glass stairs that are directly in front of her office. And I remember multiple times my friend has her as, last name. And he would always try and go and drop something off there at lunchtime. And the door would always be locked. So I just assumed it was locked. And I knew there was an officer roaming, so I was just trying to find him.
Thank you.
So I just have a question. So you speak of the information that was sent prior, is just what you brought today is for the specific instance? So that's what I'm seeing.
When I was talking about me sending stuff to Mr. Cooper?
Yes, or the district itself, to anyone.
Yeah, so I've just sent you like a brief list because there's so much. I didn't want to, so I just screenshotted what I've emailed. But I had let Mr. Cooper know of the prior instance and how it had been escalating and leading up to that for several months. And like I said, I'm on camera going to the school and having a meeting with him over this. I tried. I went to who I thought would help.
Do you recall a date around that time, like when that would have been?
When I went to the school?
Yes. For that conversation that you're saying?
Sometime in March.
Okay.
I think towards the end. I'm not quite sure of what day. I had to wait. I was on camera. I would have been waiting about 2 hours. He was busy. I understand he's a busy man, but I had to wait about 2 hours there.
so many questions, and I don't even know, like, how to organize them, or, I feel like there's still, like, not a lot of clarity around the situation. I'm not really sure, are we gonna vote just to uphold the current punishment, or?
You may uphold, reverse, or modify.
Okay, so we can just decide a completely different punishment if we wish. What are we here to do exactly?
You're either going to uphold the suspension as it's been determined, reverse it entirely, or modify the length of the out-of-school suspension.
Increase, so, I'll just put this on here. So right here on number 4, it says motion and vote to affirm suspension, modify the suspension, increase or decrease severity of suspension, or overturn the suspension. That's what, of student A.
Okay.
That's what that's asking.
So what are you asking for us to do? What would you, like, time-wise, what do you think is appropriate?
I appreciate you asking that, ma'am. Honestly, I understand that there had to have been a punishment. I get that. I'm not denying that. What I would like to see is I don't even necessarily want to send Aiden back in August, because the kids, to be quite fair, they're still driving by our house. They're on camera all the time. There's a group chat with over 40 of them making threats to Aiden. I don't necessarily feel that Aiden is still safe. I'd like for Aiden the suspension to be uplifted, where he could do online school through you guys in August, but where he could come for just his 6th period, do his wrestling, and go back home. Because the security's down there, there's like his coaches with him, he'd be with his coaches, he'd be walking out. Evan, I would like to see it uplifted again. I understand that he got into a fight, I understand that everything that happened, but I believe that he was suspended, and they gave no clarity for the first month, might I add. They were told that they were gonna put him in something called Edgenuity. Nobody contacted us, I had to contact the school. So Evan went a full month with getting no help.
Mr. President, we haven't even conducted a hearing.
I'm sorry, I thought we were with both of them.
We're on
Okay.
Aiden right now.
Your request for us is to end the suspension for time served,
Yes, ma'am.
but you mostly just want him back on the wrestling team.
I just want him to give it, and that's if he wants to. I want him to be in online school at least until January, and I'd contact the school. I would talk to Aiden and his counselors and see if they think it's safe for him even to come back, if it's calmed down. If not, we'll come back senior year. But I just want him to be given the option to where if he does want to come back, because if you look through his therapist notes, he's excited to go back to school. He really was, and this was a very hard year last year for him with his bullying and anxiety that he dealt with. So I'd just like to him have the opportunity to come back, it'd be online, and be able to do any sports or any maybe school activities that he would like to do, pending that he does what he's supposed to do. I understand if he comes back and gets in trouble, that's gonna be different.
So what is his school situation right now? He is in home suspension, right? What does that look like?
So, he was, like, again, we had to reach out. They were told he was gonna be put in Edgenuity. It took weeks for somebody to get back to us. He was online, and he was able to turn in everything from there. And then because he was so far behind for missing almost a month of school, he ended up having to do summer school, which he was doing. And, you know, he's a teenager. He kind of struggles with trying to do school without a lot of direction, without having a teacher, because we were told staff would reach out and try to help, and nobody did. So it was just left up to him.
So if we end his suspension, your intention is to enroll him in Union Online School?
If you guys would let him do that, because I know then there'd be teachers that could assist, you know, if he needed it. And then kind of take it like day by day. I don't think it'd be a good idea for him to come back the first semester. I know he really wants to, but I don't know that I think Aiden's safe, and I also don't think it's fair for the school resource officers to have to, that's a lot to deal with because there's so many players involved. So I just want him, like I said, to just be able to do any activities he'd like to do.
Can I intervene for a second?
Yes.
So, I appreciate what you're doing and saying and everything respectfully as a parent. Can I ask Aiden, like specifically you, like your thoughts on this and what is it that you want?
Honestly, I do want to come back, because I do take school as like a mental thing as well, because I've been like bullied and stuff and I've gotten depressed, but then I really look at it now like something I can put my like day towards and just focus on that the whole day, and it keeps my mind like clear, and I can just focus on, because school and wrestling, I'm really not alone. Like I like being around people. I like to be social. I like, you know, I don't want to do online. I don't want to be suspended.
But are you, well, if we could talk to him. But are you not afraid?
No. No, I'm not.
You're not worried about your safety?
No, like I told Mr. Cooper, I would stay in the office all day if I could. It's just something like school. I want school to be physical. I want to be there so I can put my mind really towards it. Because just staring at a computer all day is not something I want to do. Not something that's gonna really. My mind's not gonna be really focused on. I'd rather just be in school anyway.
Are you going to be able to do that though if this girl and these people are still there?
I hope so. I hope I can they like it could be worked out where I'm not around them. Like whatever really works, I just really want to be there. Whatever works. Like I told Mr. Cooper, I just don't want to get suspended. That I told him he could do anything. He could sit me in the office all day, do whatever. I just didn't want to be suspended and I didn't want to be around him. I was, like, if you look back on the camera, I was at my third hour because Mr. Cooper told me that he would come to my third hour and walk me to every class. Because he walked me to third hour, but not to any other classes. I waited outside my third hour for like 5 minutes and he didn't come. And that's whenever that happened.
Aiden, knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently?
I really wish it didn't happen. I wish that I knew, because I'm a sophomore, junior high school starts as sophomore. I really wish I knew the school more so I'd have more places to go. Because really, if you look at the map and look at my hours that I'm on the second floor, that's all I was walking by, because that's really all I know of the second floor. I don't know anywhere else to go. And I just really wish that didn't happen. I didn't have to fight. I was trying to walk backwards because my friends were there, and I was watching my friends. I didn't want my friends to get involved in it, and I just really wish it didn't happen. I wish there was like more options I could have had, and just not fight. I don't like violence or anything like that. I felt whenever I ran, I felt like at the end, whenever I was getting jumped and kicked, that I was forced to fight. But in the video, whenever my friends helped me get people off of me, I stopped.
You said in the video you stopped which one?
The inside. The inside video I stopped.
I believe that's when the kid busted his head.
Yeah, he was in the video he was.
So after that happened?
Yeah, in the video he was trying to run towards my girlfriend, and she was already getting hit by a guy. So I got up, and that was the first thing I seen is someone trying to charge towards my girlfriend. And I didn't mean to hit his head on the wall. I meant to push him back from her. I really wish that didn't happen.
Can I ask you a follow-up question? Did you receive a restraining order against the girl?
I did not. After it happened, so much had went down that day, I never went to the courthouse. And then I was waiting on Mr. Cooper, because he was like, hey, we're investigating everybody. Like, this is gonna be a long process. Could you just give us a little bit? And I honestly thought that because I spoke to her mother, that once it all came out in play, that she'd be getting in so much trouble, there was no need. Like, she wasn't gonna do anything. I was wrong about that. She still calls.
matter. Mr. Rainey, if Aiden is testifying, we'll give you the opportunity to cross-examine at some point.
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm just gonna ask one more question of Aiden, if that's all right. Aiden, what did you mean, no, I'm gonna put him out? When you had him in a headlock?
I didn't
Video.
say that. I told them I did have him in a headlock because, like my mom said, she has a brain injury, and whenever I saw him hitting her head, and whenever I tried to get into it, and then the second time, whenever I was walking up to him, it's because he was walking up towards my mom, and he was saying, "Respect the ones with my mom," saying that he was gonna fight my mom and that I should stay out of it. And that's when I put him in a headlock, and I told the officer if he kept him away from my mom and hitting my mom's head, I'd let him go. And he said, "Okay, I will," and I let him go. They didn't pry my arms open.
What has changed since this incident that makes you think you'll be able to go back to school and have like a functioning, safe, productive year of school? Because I'm afraid we're just really borrowing the situation. That if nothing's been resolved really.
I can completely respect that, and that's why I gave my opinion on doing homeschool. My only consideration is I think Union is now well aware that their staff dropped the ball so big that they wouldn't do that again, and perhaps maybe they would take known threats more seriously if they were told that, hey, this is going to happen, or this is who it's going to happen with. And I do know from the bullying that happened in 8th grade when I had to contact Mr. Federline, who got an investigation open, they were able to make sure that Aiden, and I know I feel bad for the counselor, because she worked her butt off to do that. She was able to make sure Aiden was not in a class with his bully, and that they didn't even have any passing periods. Like, there was no reason for them to ever see each other in the school. And I know it kind of makes it more difficult if Aiden were to go back to school to make sure that all the players didn't have each other like the same lunch or the same classes, but it can be done. And I know that Aiden, he's been miserable, so I know that on his behalf, he wouldn't go looking for a fight. He went for help. He wouldn't go looking for a fight again. But I hear your concerns. I can't promise you that. I wish I could, but these kids that didn't get the appropriate punishment that my kids got, they're still gunning for them, and we know that.
Mr. Rainey, do you have questions?
I had a question for Aiden, and this is in the last page of Exhibit 5. And it reads, since Aiden was checked by the nurse and was okay to walk, Officer Humphrey and I decided it would be okay to bring him to my office. Officer Humphrey told him that we could remove the cuffs. And Aiden said, you better keep them on, because if he sees anybody in the hallway that is part of the altercation, then he would fight him. Did you say that?
No. I told him.
So that is a misrepresentation by Officer Humphrey?
Yes.
Just like it's a misrepresentation by Principal Robinson and the other officer who said you were trying to choke him out or put him to sleep. That's a falsification, right? You're saying that's a lie.
Yeah, that's not what I said. I did try and choke him out, like I said, but
You did try to choke him out?
Yeah, I said that, and I let him go whenever they promised me that they'd keep my mom okay.
Okay, so when they said that they had to pry your hands from the other student's neck, they were lying?
They did not have to pry.
So two grown men are having to get you to release your hands around another student's neck. That's what they say, but you're saying that's a lie.
Yes.
It is all recorded. I recorded out like the whole entire thing.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to object. If we don't have the evidence here, we've already heard a laundry list of things that supposedly happened with videos, and we don't have any of it to hear. It's not as though this hearing snuck up on Mrs. Gordon. She had the opportunity to provide it. It's not here. I can't cross-examine something I can't see or I can't hear, or what supposedly somebody else said. It's simply unfair.
I completely understand that. I was not aware that I could bring videos and audios, and frankly, there is so much. I didn't want to do that. And also, I was trying to see about the fairness of it because I did know this meeting was going to be recorded, because I have staff saying some very inappropriate things about my son. I was trying to give Union the benefit of the doubt before I posted it all online for everybody else throughout America to make their decision on how Union handled it.
Well,
but I'm happy to post it.
Did you show those things to Mrs. Calvin and Mrs. Ward?
I showed some of it. I did not show all of it. I pulled up the audio of Mr. Shagwell that was sent to me by Aiden's girlfriend because she recorded the conversation. I pulled up the audio from Mr. Robinson when he said that Aiden had it coming from outside. I showed snippets of it because, like I said, I'd been in contact with the law firm who told me to get back with them tomorrow to let them know how tonight's meeting went. And I submitted everything to them. So that's where we're at.
Okay, I appreciate that, but there is some truth to that. Like, if there's nothing here for us
I
to view
completely
and do, we
understand that.
can't,
So, yeah,
we
I
can't keep
completely
going back
understand.
and forth on something that we
Absolutely.
can't see or
No,
hear.
understood. I mean, you'll see it online, but yeah.
Thank you.
Did you have any other witnesses?
Oh, no, sir.
Mr. Ray, any more questions for you? Or you?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so let's move on from that. The next thing is the, looks like it's a closing statement by the parents or student or their designees.
So again, I thank you guys so much for your time tonight. I know this is not an easy process for anybody. It's a lot of he said, she said. I completely understand that. I'll respect whatever decision you guys have to make because I know it's not one that's gonna be made lightly. It can't be, there's too many parties involved. I'm not looking for any special consideration. My kids have been punished for months. My daughter, who was not involved in any of this, was kept from going to school for 3 days, missing an AP exam, and she was kicked out of the National Honor Society afterwards. So a lot of lives have been affected by this. I just ask that you guys please look into everything, take it into consideration, and if you could find it upon yourself to realize that they've essentially had over 2 months of suspension, plus the entire summer. We would sincerely appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, closing statements by administration or its designee.
I'll make it short for the board. This is a hearing about the discipline imposed for what Aiden did on April 9th. That's what this is about. Aiden had all sorts of exit ramps to keep from being in the situation that he's currently in. You can simply look at the map of the high school and look at every door that he could have opened. But he didn't want that. For whatever reason, Aiden wanted to fight. He texted, "We don't need to wait for the bathroom. We can go now." If you remember the video, it was his girlfriend who was actually pushing him down the hall. These were bad choices that Aiden made. And he had been told earlier that morning, avoid confrontation, find an adult. And there were lots and lots and lots of adults around. All he had to do was walk up to one and say, "Help me, I'm afraid." And it would have ended. But he didn't do that. And then we have a bit of revisionist history. It's a good thing we have the video that shows us what happened, because if you remember the video of the student who had his head cracked open, it was the nearest girlfriend. Aiden got up, there was nobody around, and he tackled him into the wall. That's what happened. Then we've heard all of this about the lost insulin pump, but I didn't see anything from the video as Aiden was walking out to the parking lot. Didn't seem to me to be any concern. It seemed to me that he wanted to go with his mom to eat lunch. That was the concern. And then when his girlfriend says, they're the kids, not the same kids from the school, it didn't make any difference. Evan goes after him, and what does Aiden do? Goes after him. And I'm sorry, I don't believe Principal Robinson and the officer are lying when they said they had to pry his arms off of the student's neck and that he was going to put them out. I also don't think that the officer was lying when he offered to take off the handcuffs and Aiden said, don't do it because I'm mad and if I see him, I'm gonna fight. That's what this is about. This is about what Aiden did on April 9th, not a history of complaints, none of which can be verified here tonight, and of abuses. This is about what Aiden did. And the current semester, which was just April through the end of school in May, and then next semester is not excessive. It is an appropriate discipline for what occurred. Accordingly, the administration would ask that the board affirm the suspension as it currently is, which at the time it was administered was the maximum that could have been provided under Oklahoma law. The current semester plus the next. Otherwise, I don't believe that the message is being sent. I don't believe that the provisions of Board Policy 5054 apply. That threats, threatening behaviors, acts of violence, and any related conduct, including but not limited to physical violence, verbal or written threats, or intimidation gestures or actions, and violence against property will not be tolerated. And that students found in violation of this policy may be subjected to any and all disciplinary action that may be imposed by the district's policy regarding student behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so at this time, it's the deliberation of the Board of Education. I'll just read it. If the hearing was not held in executive session, the board may vote at this time to go in executive session pursuant to Oklahoma Statute Title 25, 307B5 to discuss the suspension of student A only with the permission of the parent.
Yes, sir, you can do whatever you need to do.
Okay, so is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss the suspension of student A with the parent's permission?
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Chair votes yes as well. We are in executive session. Okay, we acknowledge that we are returning to open session, excuse me. So motion, consideration, and vote to convene an executive session is authorized, sorry. Okay. Motion and vote to return to open session.
So moved.
You sure?
You just need to put the minute, say we didn't discuss anything, or we didn't,
My apologies. During executive session, the board discussed only the suspension of the student A. No decisions were made and no action was taken. Excuse me. Okay, motion and vote to adopt the findings of fact on the suspension of student A.
I hereby move that the following findings of fact be adopted by the Board of Education. Each having been shown by preponderance of the credible evidence established at the student suspension hearing for student A held on July 14, 2025. Student A was a high school student at the district during the 24-25 school year. District policies applicable to students regarding anti-violence and student conduct code are set forth by board policies 5054 and 5050. On April 9th, 2025, student A violated board policies 5054 and 5050 in the following ways. Fighting. In the first incident inside the high school, student A was separated from all students. He sees another student and attacks him, causing the other student to crack his head open, which later required staples. Disobeying officials, student A continued to fight after being told to stop. During a second event that took place outside, student A jumped into a fight that student EG had started with another student. Student A fights a second time. The first time student A jumped into the fight between Mrs. Gordon and the other student. They are separated, then student continues to follow the other student, tackles him and puts him in a chokehold. Threat to student, Officer Chris Hall and Mr. Robinson tell student A to let go of another student while student A has him in a chokehold. Student A's response was, "No, I'm putting him to sleep." Student A's hands had to be physically removed from the other student's throat. Disruption. Student A was involved in both incidents, which caused 5 security officers, 4 principals, and the Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation. In addition, several teachers that came out of the classroom into the hallways to help with crowd control and to contact the administration.
Okay. Motion and vote to affirm suspension.
You just made a motion, you had a second. We'll adopt those findings.
I second.
All right.
I'll second that.
All right, Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
yes.
Chair votes yes for that as well. Thank you. All right, motion and vote to affirm suspension, modify suspension, increase or decrease severity of suspension, or overturn suspension of student A.
I would like to make a motion to modify the suspension for the first 9 weeks of school for the student to continue to be at home suspension, and for the second 9 weeks to be in school suspension.
I'll second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
No.
Chair votes no as well.
That means that it stays as it was, correct? Yeah.
Okay, so because of the 2-2 vote? Okay, due to the 2-2 vote, the motion to affirm the suspension is being held. Okay, at this time, it's a student suspension due process appeal hearing for student B. The board president will ask the parents and students whether they wish the hearing to be an open session or an executive session. If the parent student wish to hear wish the hearing to be an executive session, then the board will consider and vote to go into executive session pursuant Oklahoma statute 25-307B5 to hear the evidence and discuss suspension of the student in question. Let's see, Mrs. Gordon, do you wish to proceed in public or executive session?
Public.
Okay. Also, the board can consider and vote to go into executive session pursuant to Oklahoma statute title 25-307B7 at any time during this hearing where disclosure of information would violate confidentiality requirements of state or federal law. At this time, we are opening statements by the administration or its designee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, we're here tonight for the long-term suspension hearing of student B, who at the time was an 8th grade student. The evidence will show that on the afternoon of April 9th, 2025, student B, the younger brother of student A, twice attempted to gain access to the high school. After having been denied access to the high school while at his mother's car parked outside, student B saw students that were identified as having made threats to student A. Despite being directed by administration not to engage with the student, student B initiated a fight in the parking lot by slamming another student into a parked car. Furthermore, the evidence will establish that while student A had a student in a chokehold, student B stomped on the other student 3 times until student B was separated by a district employee. While separated, student B again tried to fight another student despite having previously been told not to engage any students. The disruption caused by student B caused 4 security officers, 4 principals, and Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation. Student B was suspended for the remainder of the spring semester of the 2024-25 school year and the fall semester of the 25-26 school year. The discipline imposed on student B was warranted by his conduct, and the administration is asking that it be upheld in its entirety. Thank you.
Thank you. Opening statement by the parent, student, or their designee.
Hi again, we're still the same thing. It's not really a different opening statement. We're just here to see if the suspension will be uplifted for Evan Gordon, as we feel that it's been excessive, especially given the fact that all the gang members who attacked him and my other son were not, they're all back in school. Kind of feels redundant now to do this because, you know, you guys have already voted for Aiden, so I pretty much feel like we're just wasting time, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, presentation of all the administration's evidence subject to cross-examination and questions from the Board of Education.
Administration would call Warren Stoffer.
Ms. Stoffer, you just remember that you're still under oath.
Yes.
Ms. Stoffer, it's late. We've gone over some of these common exhibits, so let's just quickly go through them. Exhibit 1, and this is under tab D for the board. Exhibit 1, this is board policy 5054, anti-violence.
Correct.
And your testimony regarding this policy that you gave during the student suspension hearing of student A, still the same?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to exhibit 2. That is that board policy 5050 student behavior?
Yes.
And as your testimony previously given during the testimony of student A, the same as it would be if you were to testify to it again?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to exhibit 3 real quickly. Can you explain what this is?
This is a behavior detail report given by one of the assistant principals over at the 8th grade center, just outlining the reason why Evan was suspended. and what consequence he was given.
Okay. And let's just go through this real quickly. Evan attempted to enter the high school through the south doors.
Correct.
And based upon the video footage that we observed on student A during executive session, how many times did that occur?
He tried to enter on 2 accounts.
Then the first time was by himself, and the second time was with his brother Aiden's friends.
Correct.
Then he goes on to say, Mr. Robinson, who's an assistant principal at high school, responded to a call for security and proceeded to the parking lot. Is that what your investigation determined?
Yes.
And while Aiden's girlfriend was showing Mr. Robinson a video, someone yelled, "There they are."
Correct.
Okay. And the they are, there they are students that were believed to have been involved in the incident with Aiden not too long before.
Correct.
And that was inside the school?
Correct.
Okay. But your investigation determined what with regard to those students?
The students outside were not involved on the inside matter.
Okay. He goes on to say, Evan proceeded to run at a student he believed to be involved in the previous altercation with a brother and started fighting him.
Correct.
Is that what your investigation showed?
Yes.
And is that what the video showed that we watched in the executive session for student A?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson yelled, "Stop, do not do that." There's no video, or there's no audio with the video, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but did you have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Robinson about what he observed that day?
Yes.
And did he tell you, as part of your investigation, that he had directed Evan to stop?
Yes.
It said that during the altercation, Evan and the other student collided into a student's car, resulting in damage. Is that correct?
Correct.
That damage, how was the payment for that damage determined?
It was determined that both parties involved in that initial contact with the car were to be split between, the cost of the damage would be split between the 2 parties involved.
Okay. And then it goes on to say that Mr. Robinson pulled Evan away from student AE, but Evan continued to try to push through Mr. Robinson. Did you observe this on the video?
Yes.
It said once Evan was calm, Mr. Robertson proceeded to help security stop Aiden and student JT from fighting. Your
Correct.
investigation bore that out?
Yes.
Said Evan then pushed through the security after being told to stop. Evan started fighting JT and kicked him while Aiden was holding him on the ground.
Correct.
Is it your understanding that Evan stomped on the student multiple times?
Yes.
Was it reported to you that it occurred 3 times?
Yes.
Security administrators were able to separate all parties. The police arrived. It goes on to say that the parent was contacted by Mr. Cooper and explained the calendar year suspension for both sons and gave the phone numbers to set up appeal appointments. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then the parent, because it indicates she, I believe that's Mrs. Ford, stated that she was going to pursue a class action lawsuit against the district. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Additionally, restitution is requested for damage to the car. So that's what we talked about earlier, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's have you go to Exhibit 4 real quickly. This is the same summary of the event that you prepared as part of your investigation, correct?
Correct.
And it has the timelines of the recordings and the like.
Correct.
We talked about this a little bit, but the video documentation reflects that the fight that Evan initiated was unprovoked. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did you find any information that was based on anything other than Aiden's girlfriend saying, or I should say misidentifying the students as the one who were involved in the inside incident?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Did your investigation reveal that the student who who Evan attacked was not one of the students involved with Aiden inside the high school?
Correct. They were not involved inside.
Okay. And Evan was not involved in the high school, inside the high school incident because he's an 8th grade student and he's not permitted to be in the high school, correct?
Correct.
And you found no evidence that he was permitted to be allowed in. Is that correct?
Correct.
From the video that you observed, did Mrs. Gordon interject herself into the fight that was started by Evan?
Yes.
Okay. And if you recall, what did Evan do after that?
Evan, when she interjected, Evan was in another side altercation, and then Aiden had stepped in to defend his mom.
Do page 2 and page 3 of Exhibit 4 set forth the basis for the discipline imposed by Evan?
Yes.
Okay. And if we can look at those real quickly. The first was trespassing, is that correct?
Yes.
That Evan tried to enter the high school campus and Officer Chris Hall stopped him?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And that happened twice, correct?
Correct.
And those were at different doors?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did your investigation reveal anything at that time that Evan knew that his brother was missing his insulin pump?
Not at that time, no.
Okay. Did that only occur based upon your investigation once Aiden was in his mother's car outside?
The first I learned of the insulin pump was at least a day after the altercation happened.
Okay. But were you provided any evidence that established that Aiden had been communicating with either his mom or with Evan about the missing insulin pump when Evan attempted twice to gain access to the high school?
No.
Number 2, the grounds for the suspension, disobeying an official. Ms. Robinson clearly told Evan not to engage in the students. That was borne out by your investigation?
Yes.
Instead, Evan initiated the fight in the parking lot by slamming student AT into a parked car, which later revealed a huge dent.
Correct.
Okay. Third incident, fighting. Evan initiated the fight outside.
Correct.
Did anybody ever tell you that the student who Evan ran after and slammed into the car had said or done anything to Evan?
No.
How about anything to Aiden?
No.
Did your investigation reveal that that student had any involvement with Aiden whatsoever?
No.
Next, item 4, battery, that while student AG, that would be Aiden, had student JT in a chokehold, Evan stomped on student JT 3 times until Mrs. Litchfield separates them.
Correct.
Is that borne out by your investigation?
Yes.
Was it borne out by what you were able to observe from the video?
Yes.
Who's Mrs. Litchfield?
She is also an assistant principal at the high school.
Number 5, disobeying an official. Evan had been told twice not to engage. For a second time, Evan tried to fight student JT while he was on the ground in JT, is that correct?
Yes,
And Mrs. Litchfield again had to get in front of him to keep him from fighting.
correct.
So Evan engaged, and then he was separated, and then he re-engaged, correct?
Correct.
Was there any reason for Evan to even be on the grounds of the high school on April 9th?
No,
No, I should say no reason related to his education. Would that be correct?
that would be correct, yes.
Okay, and then number 6, sixth ground disruption. The second incident outside caused 4 security officers, 4 principals, and the Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation. If you would, for the board, explain a little bit how this disruption affected the high school.
So when we have so many officials that are called to one area, it takes away from just the safety and everyday operations of the high school. So it just, more things can happen unsupervised during that time.
Let's get it real quickly. Exhibit 5 is the video, but I don't know that we need to see it again. Exhibit 6, this is a statement from Brent Robson.
Correct.
And we talked about this during the suspension appeal for Aiden Gordon. Is that correct?
Yes.
If I were to ask you questions and go through this again, would your testimony change in any way?
No.
All right. Those are all the questions I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Gordon, any questions?
Just a couple. So when you first initially witnessed Evan on video approaching the school and he talked to the resource officer, I know you guys can't have audio, but it's safe to say that there was a conversation had between them.
Yes.
Would it also be safe to say, because Evan is not a small kid, that it could have been assumed that he was a student to begin with?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Okay, my point is, well, I guess you can't answer that. Okay, and then outside, when the fight occurred outside, did you witness at any point in time students walking towards Evan as well as throwing their backpacks off?
No, in the video, that first initial situation, Evan clearly approached him, and I can see that the other gentleman drop his backpack, but it was maybe half a second before that contact was initiated.
So they were walking towards each other, and you can tell that words were exchanged, just not what they said.
No, the other student was pretty stood in his ground while the other kid was walking towards him.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any questions from the board?
Ms. Calvin.
Ms. Calvin, remember you're still under oath.
Ms. Calvin, let me direct you to Exhibit 7 for Student B. And can you identify what this is?
These are the notes from the second level appeal that was conducted by a principal at the 7th grade center, Ms. Pounds, in the committee.
Okay. Does it appear from these review committee notes that Evan was present and testified to the committee?
Yes.
Okay. And that's because his name's listed under the committee members?
Yes.
Okay. I want to go down to the last paragraph on the first page. It says, Evan stated that he tried to enter the south entrance twice to go find Aiden's diabetic mom. He'd lost him, he was in a fight upstairs. Let me ask you this question. Evan tried to gain entry into the high school prior, at least one time prior to his brother walking out. Is that correct?
Correct.
And how was it, if you know, that Evan could have known that when he had to talk to his brother to know that his insulin pump was missing?
I don't know.
Seems to be somewhat inconsistent, does it not?
But speculation, is it not?
I'm asking her opinion.
It's still speculation.
Based upon her review and her review of the investigation.
And the question is, that seems inconsistent?
Yes.
Correct.
And a matter of fact, Evan stated that he tried to enter the south entrance twice to go find it, Aiden's pump that Aiden had lost when he was in a fight upstairs. See that?
Yes.
It's a lot of information for Evan to know who wasn't at the high school, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay. They go on to say, we asked him why he didn't go to the front of the building where we were supposed to check in. He said he was familiar with the school because he goes there for athletics and he knows the security guards. Is it appropriate for a student to try to gain entrance into a school to which they're not supposed to be in simply because they know the security guards?
The question was again?
Sure. Is it proper for a student not to use a main entrance, but to use a side entrance at a building site where they don't attend simply because they know the security guards?
That is improper.
He goes on to say he tried to enter twice and was denied, and that was borne out by the tape, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then he said he waited for his brother to come out, and he said while he was waiting, he was talking with Mr. Robinson. He said that the other students started walking up and yelling at him, and he started yelling back, and that's when the fight broke out. Do you have any reason to believe that the committee notes are inaccurate as to what Evan told them when they met?
No reason to believe they're inaccurate.
Okay. Well, you saw the video of how the fight with Evan started, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So Evan states that the other students started walking up and yelling at him, and he started yelling back. Is that what's reflected in the tape?
It is not.
And then he goes on to say he said that he was protecting his mom because she has a brain tumor, and if she gets hit, she could die. Do you see that?
I do see that, yes.
Does it seem to you to be somewhat inconsistent for Mrs. Gordon, who has a brain tumor that if she's hit in the head could result in her death, engaging in an altercation with students in a school parking lot?
It does seem inconsistent.
And then he goes on to say, we asked him why when Mr. Robinson, or the security guards were trying to get him to stop on multiple occasions, that he continued, and he said at the moment he was so upset that he kept fighting and felt like he needed to protect his mother. He admitted that he kicked a student multiple times while they were restrained. Evan stated once again that he was so upset he wasn't able to make himself stop. I guess we wouldn't know if that's true or not unless we were to talk to Evan, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the committee reflects that they asked Evan if he was ever faced with a similar situation again, what he would do differently. And he stated that the only thing he would do differently would not be to kick the student that was restrained. So what's reflected in the report, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you reviewed this report as part of your level 3 appeal, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and when you had the level 3 appeal, did you meet with Mrs. Gordon and Evan?
Yes, I met with Mrs. Gordon and Evan.
To your knowledge, did they have a copy of these notes?
Not to my knowledge at the meeting.
At the meeting with you?
That is correct.
Now he goes on to say, Mom and Evan stated that they know that Evan did wrong and should have consequences that they believe that suspension to the end of the semester would be sufficient. So approximately 45 calendar days, which is approximately, what would that be in school days? 9 weeks. A 20 to 30 day
Yes.
school day suspension?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon stated multiple times that Evan is great at football and does not want him to miss out on the opportunity to play next year. See that?
Yes.
During your conversation with Ms. Gordon and Evan, did the topic of football ever arise?
It did.
In what context?
She was concerned that he was going to miss out on an opportunity to play football.
Did it appear to you that Ms. Gordon was more concerned about Evan missing out on playing football than for the actions that he undertook uninitiated on April 9th?
Correct. It appeared that football was more important.
He goes on to say that in the next paragraph that they reviewed the concerns from Ms. Gordon and Evan. They reviewed the video of the fight and statement that Evan wrote for the police after the incident. The next day, Ms. Gordon sent additional screenshots of texts and emails, mostly concerning Dayton, and that the committee reviewed those as well, correct?
Correct.
And did you have those available to you when you conducted the level 3 appeal?
I did, yes.
And the committee decided to uphold the original suspension and recommend that suspension be reviewed by the 8th grade center at the end of the first semester of the 25-26 school year.
Correct.
Okay. At this time, the suspension was still for a calendar year.
Yes, it was.
So they thought, even though it's for a calendar year, the 8th grade center should review it in January of 26.
Correct.
So roughly 4 months before the suspension was over.
Correct.
Then let me have you turn to Exhibit 8, please. And this is your decision with regard to the level 3 appeal.
Correct.
And again, you reviewed everything that the district had and the documents that we've reviewed in regard to this incident.
Correct.
And you agreed, or it was your decision to uphold the appeal, I'm sorry, to uphold the suspension for the reasons stated, correct?
Correct.
Those are the 6 that I read off to you earlier.
Correct, yes.
But you modified the suspension to the current semester and the next.
Yes, I did.
So it would end at the end of the fall semester of 2025, and Evan would be able to attend school again in January of 2026.
Correct.
And again, you provided all the information regarding appeals, and let's just get into the board appeal hearing procedures. You specifically indicated in the 4th bullet point, did you not? On the 2nd page, that you will have the opportunity to present your own witnesses and documents subject to cross-examinations.
Yes.
Do you agree that the suspension of Evan is appropriate?
I do, yes.
Do you believe it should be modified?
No.
Is there anything about the severity of the incident that leads you to that opinion? let me ask it this way. Was it of significance to you that Evan's attack was on students that were just pointed out to him as having been involved in a fight with Aiden?
It was, yes.
Did it mean anything to you that Evan ran after the other students to fight them?
Yes.
Did it mean anything to you that while a student was on the ground being held by his brother Aiden, that Evan stomped on them 3 times?
Yes.
Does it mean anything to you that Evan told the second tier review committee that the only thing he regretted about the incident was stomping on the student?
Yes.
To you, did that show a disregard for the health, safety, and welfare of other students?
It did.
And did it lead you to conclude or not conclude that it was likely without a serious disciplinary consequence that this could happen again?
I believed it could happen again.
No further questions?
Thank you. Questions, Mrs. Gordon?
I don't.
No questions?
No.
Okay. Board?
I have a question. Why was the disciplinary appeal set for the 8th grade center if he would no longer be there the next year? The review, does that make sense?
So
Does it just stay with the school he was at the previous semester?
are you referring to the location of where it happened, the
Yeah,
appeal
it says,
occurred?
Exhibit 7.
So the second level appeal occurs with a principal that is not his current principal. So he was currently a student at the 8th grade. Ms. Pounds is principal at the 7th grade.
I get that that's the appeal process,
Okay.
but there's where,
The last one.
do you
The
have
last
any
sentence, yeah, the last sentence says, the committee decided to uphold the original suspension and recommended that the suspension
Oh.
be reviewed by the 8th grade center at the end of the first semester of the 25-26 school year. And he'd be a freshman.
That is correct. That is correct. It would have been the freshman academy to review it. Sure.
Any more questions? Steve? Okay, no questions here. Thank you. All right, next is the presentation of the parents and students' evidence subject to cross-examination and questions from the Board of Education.
So you guys basically already heard about Aiden and what transpired and led up to there, so.
Didn't mean to, sorry, cut
Oh,
you
I'm
off.
so sorry.
Just a reminder that you're still under oath. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So basically, it was the same thing. Evan was there with me. He was already in the car. As far as approaching the door and why he didn't go to the front, he's still a kid at the end of the day, and he thought he could talk to somebody that he knew who happens to be, he's friendly with all of the resource officers when he's there for wrestling. So he thought, I can ask somebody that I know, have you seen my brother Aiden? Because they know they're brothers. So when you saw him approach the door, that is who he was talking to, and he immediately turned around and left. It was only after Aiden came out and Aiden was speaking with his brother that he told him, hey, I don't have my transmitter, my insulin pump came off. He said, you're not going back into the school alone. Because he thought, I don't want my brother walking back into the school, I don't know where these kids are. And so when he tried to approach, again, it was not nothing maliciously at that time.
Just for the record, I need to object that Mrs. Gordon is testifying on behalf of Aiden, and I just don't think it's appropriate.
I mean, anyways, as I was saying, he went to do that, and it was not with malicious intent on Evan's behalf to try to get his brother's insulin pump back. Came back to the car, a conversation was had between Mr. Robinson, which again, you guys will find online tomorrow, that went back and forth. I asked if he was gonna do anything about the students who came out, who are on video, that attacked Aiden, that were inside the school. They were. Anyways, they came out, a conversation was had, are you gonna stop them? He said, no, not at this time. Again, I was upset, I wasn't listening. I wanted to get them on video for the police. As I approached, and I admit stupidly, as I approached over there, and Evan was following me, words were being exchanged which cannot be heard from both parties. Me telling them they're going to jail, them yelling and laughing and mocking about Aiden just getting jumped. And Evan had said in exchange, you guys are P words for jumping my brother. I bet you wouldn't try that with me. And a student threw his backpack off and approached. And when he approached, again, yeah, Evan is in football. He's a protector on the field and off the field, and only thing he could think about is you guys just attacked my brother. Not saying it's right, it's not right. A fight happened on school grounds. It shouldn't have happened on school grounds. It shouldn't have happened, period. It wouldn't have happened, again, had Union intervened like they were told. They knew the time, the place, the when, the where, the how. They refused to. A fight happened. Didn't need to happen. Evan didn't need to start the fight. When they both approached, yet a fight broke out. Afterwards, and when you said about me having a brain tumor and that wasn't an action of, there's been, how many times have we heard just with the Texas floods of people that went in the water that doesn't know how to swim to try to save somebody? If it's your child, you're gonna step in no matter how your health is. That's just how it is. And Evan, because I was previously hit by a Union school bus the year before, and my neurologist had told me I can't take another hit to my head or it could cause permanent damage, a stroke, or even death, that is where Evan was thinking. This is all very well documented when I sued Union and won the year prior. So anyways, that is where Evan was thinking. It was not, again, he was just thinking my mom's hurt and somebody's hitting my mom and she could die. Because he's remembering what the neurologist said the year prior. The fight happened, it took place, he did what he did. I've never not once said he shouldn't be in trouble. I did say he should be in trouble. I did mention football. Evan is not a mediocre player, he's an exemplary player. He got MVP here in Oklahoma multiple times. He did in Missouri as well. Let's be very clear and concise while he's mentioning football. I can take my son to play at any school in any state. They would gladly have him. They're asking for him. Evan wants to play for Union. That is what I reiterated. He, for some reason, loves the coaches and wants to play for Union and Union only. I can take him anywhere. Evan is a very good player. I just wanted my son to be back in school and have the opportunity in August. I didn't say bring him back now. For over a month, he was kept out of school and wasn't even given any sort of direction. I had to call, and I actually had to contact the Federline's office and say, hey, Evan don't even have schoolwork to do. So he got some very far behind. He wasn't given any direction. They dropped the ball on, okay, well, Evan goes to the 8th grade center. Why was Mr. Cooper even handling his suspension to begin with? And then per your guys' own board policy, if a gun was not involved, he should have never gotten a year suspension to begin with. So that's, I'm not asking, again, that it just be lifted and, oh, he shouldn't have gotten any trouble. He's already been out, regardless of the fact if it was calendar school days or not. He's still got more time than everybody else. He's still been out 2 months. He's still missed Union's football camp that he'd been talking about. If you knew him, he practices every week with an NFL player. They've been talking about Union's football camp all year. If you realize the fact that that devastated him not being able to go, that was worse than being out 2 months because he wanted to be on the field with his coaches and with his team. He's already suffered enough, in my opinion. If that's not your guys' opinion, that's not your guys' opinion. That's just where I'm at. I would like to see him go back. I know it wouldn't happen again because he goes to a completely different school. He would be at the 9th grade center where none of these kids go to. There would be no reason. He's not even doing wrestling this year, so he wouldn't even be at the high school. There would be no reason. And that's basically it.
Thank you.
I have one.
Questions, yes.
Just one. Evan didn't go to the high school, but he still got in a fight at the high school, didn't he?
Evan was at the high school. Evan was currently in football, wrestling, and track. He knows all the people.
Evan was not a student at the high school.
Evan was with me to
still
get
got,
lunch with his brother.
let me finish. Evan was not a student at the high school, yes or no?
You already know that answer.
Sir, do you mind if I could answer?
No, I'm asking your mom.
No, you're being confrontational, and you are.
No,
Yeah.
no, you just told this board that he's gonna be going to a separate school, the 9th grade center, so this won't happen again. Well, he was going to a separate school on April 9th, which was the 8th grade center, and it happened at the high school.
Because at
Did
the
it not?
time, he was at the high school every day for wrestling and
Did
track.
it, but
It was completely different.
This incident did not occur during
And
athletics,
he was
did it?
with me. Aiden is not even going back to the school. I'd already asked you guys to put him in online school
Ma'am,
next year.
ma'am,
There would be no reason.
Just answer the question, yes.
And
or
I
no.
did, multiple times.
I think the question's been answered. I'll let it go.
Board, have any questions?
I don't understand why, if I can ask you a question.
You can, ma'am.
I don't understand why, if something so frightening could happen to your older son at the high school, that you would send your younger child, an 8th grader, into the building.
He wasn't going into the building. Evan went, so, and I understand where you're coming from. When
I
we
mean, I
pulled,
would have told my kid to sit
No,
in
when
the
we
car
pulled-
and don't move.
okay, so when we pulled up, I was behind originally, what you're not seeing in the videos, I was parked behind the 2 buses. And then my oldest son, Devin, called me. And at that point in time, I pull up and I'm trying to call the school and I'm trying to get on my phone. And when they wouldn't answer, I called the police. At that time, Evan opens the door. He said, "Mom, I know the security guard. I'm gonna go ask him, has he seen Aiden?" Evan's usually cool, calm, and collected. Did not think that he's going to, an altercation's gonna break out. My kids talk to security, if you know Aiden or Evan. They've got pictures upon days of themselves with all the police officers everywhere, police, sheriffs, everything. I thought that he truly knew the security guard, and he was gonna say, "Have you seen my brother?" And that's what he did. He walked up to him and said, "Have you seen my brother?" The security guard was like, "No, but if I see him, he'll come out." And Evan turned around and walked off and then seen his brother. That the second time, he was just trying to go in and get the insulin pump. That was it, because Aiden has to have it. And the reason that transmitter is so important is being a kid, he lost it before. And it's not something we could pick up at Walgreens or a CVS pharmacy. They literally had to have, from Omnipod, they had to put a personnel on the plane and they had to courier it overnight to bring it to Aiden. So we were truly trying to find just that transmitter. And at that point in time, the school wasn't helping. We didn't think anybody was helping. It's Aiden can't walk into the school alone. His brother can walk with him. And, you know, it might not have been the smartest, but that's where we were at. Like, nobody was thinking clearly at that time.
Evan, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked your brother too. Like, well, what are you wanting from this? What are your thoughts on where we're at right now?
I mean, to be honest, I really only want to come back to Union because I like how the education and sports is. There's a plus because you see from a lot of schools in Tulsa, you either get sports or you get education if you don't get the other. And I like that from Union. That's the main reason why I wanted to come back and why I'm trying to fight to come back. But I mean, with all my actions and stuff, I mean, I get the punishment, I do, but it's just there is a lot of buildup that's not being seen that is making me get painted as a way I am not. I know there will not be another fight because I will not be around my brother. I do not act that way behind myself. I act that way behind my siblings. I've always been my brother's keeper. It's just, and so I knew that would not be it. And I just wanted to add on. Whenever I went inside the school and talked to the security guard, I said, "Hey, do you mind if I go look for my brother Aiden?" He said, "No, but you can wait inside the building and cool. And he told me to wait inside the double door area, which I did. He did not tell me to get out because he knew me and he was cool with me. It's, whenever, and then also during the fights, whenever I was fighting, there was a point where Mr. Robinson had me in the hold with my hands behind my back, and he told me to chill out, and I kept telling him, I'm chill, and people kept punching me, and that's whenever, and I was like, I was still trying to let him disperse it, but whenever I got punched another like 7 or 8 times, that's whenever I started pushing through him and trying to get people off of me. And I was trying to stay calm, even at the end, whenever I was being detained, and there was an officer with his all his body weight into my back. I have really bad asthma. My mom was yelling, he can't breathe, he has asthma, he can't breathe, and I couldn't breathe, but the officer, he kept telling me, calm down, or I'm going to cuff you, and I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, you're cool, it's over, do what you have to do. I said, please, and I just kept telling my mom to back up and that it was cool. Is because I was staying calm and collected. I really only acted like that behind my brother, and I get with like the punishment, how it go into January, but I really just wanted to come back for the education and sports. Even if y'all wanted to keep it for 4 years and not yet let me come back to the actual campus itself, even online school and football would be the option I was looking for. That's kind of really all I wanted to do, was online school and football. So it's, and no, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Evan, I just want to say thank you for sharing that. It takes a lot of courage, okay?
All right, next is the presentation of rebuttal evidence and surrebuttal evidence, if any, with cross-examination and questions from the Board of Education.
Administration, anybody?
All right, next is the closing statement by the parents, students, or their designees.
Honestly, it's been a long night. I know you guys are tired. I thank you guys very much for even staying this late and seeing it through. Did not know board meetings could go this long. I know everybody wants to get out of here. I appreciate you guys, no matter what is decided at the end of the night. I just hope, again, like with Aiden, you look at all aspects. Evan, he truly is. When I say he's his brother's keeper, and I shared some of Aiden's medical record when I gave you those files. I don't think I got those back. When I gave you those files of Aiden's therapist, and what I mean by that is if you ever had to see your sibling sit there and be that depressed and be that sad because somebody was bullying you or somebody was doing this, you would understand where Evan was coming from, because I think we all know as society, how many times do we have to see a hashtag of some child that's not here no more because bullying went on, and everybody's like, well, why didn't somebody do anything? Why didn't somebody do anything? Well, I've been coming to years saying, why isn't somebody doing something? And so Evan was fed up, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, because he did not want to see his brother be a statistic. He did not want to see his brother get harmed. Yes, I'm not making an excuse. It was disruptive. It should be punished. He absolutely should. I'm not taking away from that. I understand that. Again, I'm saying that the punishment should fit the crime. Even per your board policy, he did not have a gun. He did not have a weapon. A year was still excessive to the people that had weapons there. They're back in school. Evan didn't. If you could lift it, again, we're just trying to get him back into school, back into his activities. He would not have a reason to even be at the high school next year due to the fact that he's not going to take wrestling or track. He never planned on going back, didn't like the conditioning. So he wasn't going back to begin with. He would only be at the 9th grade center. There's really not anything to make us lead up to thinking that there's going to be some sort of issue. And we're just asking that you guys take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Closing statement by administration or its designee.
I'll make it short. Evan's suspension was based upon what Evan did. Evan's brother, Aiden, didn't tell him that those were the kids who were involved in the incident inside. It was Aiden's girlfriend. And that didn't stop him. He had no business getting out of the car. He created this on his own. At the time he attacked the other student, there was no risk of harm at all to Aiden nor to Mrs. Gordon. With regard to football, football is an extracurricular. It is a privilege. It is not a right. And it is a privilege that can and should be lost when you don't follow the rules and you attack somebody. The other thing I don't understand is I don't understand this whole issue of the insulin pump. When Evan first tried to come in, he'd been in the car with his mom. He didn't even know his brother had lost his insulin pump. Then we saw the video. As soon as Aiden goes out, they immediately tried to come back in. Nobody's testified, not Aiden, not Evan, nobody has testified that that's what was occurring. Thank God Evan didn't come in, because all we need to do is look at his conduct 2 minutes later, and who knows what would have happened at the high school. Evan's discipline is appropriate for Evan's actions. And this board needs to set the example to say this is conduct that we don't tolerate. It's not tolerated by board policy. And yes, I understand that there are ranges, but this was an intentional attack by Evan. It was an intentional attack to stomp on somebody 3 times while they're on the ground being held by their brother. This isn't a case of self-defense. This is a case of initiating an assault. And we believe that the length and term of the suspension of 1+1, which ends at the end of the fall semester, is appropriate, and ask that the board affirm.
Thank you. Deliberation by the Board of Education. If the hearing was not held in executive session, the board may vote at this time to go into executive session pursuant to Oklahoma Statute Title 25, 307B5 to discuss the suspension of student B only with the permission of the parent.
Yes, that's fine.
You have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. We are now in executive session. Back on the suspension of student B.
I hereby move that the following findings of facts be adopted by the Board of Education, each having been shown by a preponderance of the credible evidence established at the student suspension hearing for student B held on July 14th, 2025. Student B was a middle school student at the district during the 24-25 school year. District policies applicable to students regarding anti-violence and student conduct code are set forth in Board Policy 5054 and 5050. On April 9th, 2025, student B violated Board Policy 5054 and 5050 in the following ways. Trespassing, student B tried to enter Union High School campus and Officer Chris Hall stopped him. Disobeying an official, Ms. Robinson Cooley told student B not to engage with students. Instead, student B initiated the fight in the parking lot, slamming another student into a parked car, which later revealed a huge dent. Fighting, student B initiated a fight outside. battery. While student A had a student in a chokehold, student B stomped on other student 3 times until a district employee separated student B. Disciplining official, student B had been told twice not to engage. For a second time, student B tried to fight another student while the other student was on the ground, and a district employee again had to get in front of student B to keep him from fighting. Disruption, the second incident outside involving student B caused 4 security officers, 4 principals, and the Tulsa Police Department to respond to the situation.
All right, we have a motion and vote to affirm suspension, modify suspension, increase or decrease severity of suspension. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that last time, sorry. Thank you. Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Sorry, chair votes yes as well. Motion and vote to affirm suspension, modify suspension, increase or decrease severity of suspension, or overturn suspension of student B.
I move to affirm the suspension.
Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes as well. Next is adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you.